Everybody knows the grand tomato is one of the best fruits that you can get inside a Roblox grow a garden, but what if we actually go back to the beginning of the seed shop list and buy a regular tomato and grow every single mutation on it? I decided to challenge myself and do this to see what the regular tomato would be worth if I grew every single mutation on it and if I buffed it up to make a very big tomato. So make sure to watch until the end of this video to see what the regular tomato can be worth inside of Roblox grow a garden if you give it some love. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant this thing down, and I'm actually just going to get it to fully grow real quick. I'm going to do this a little bit differently because everybody's been telling me, oh, Bandites, you got to do it this way. You got to do it this way. So I'm going to be trying something a little bit different today. So we're going to actually let this thing grow in fully. And once it's grown in, then we're going to throw some sprinklers down and our mooncats to try and get this thing to get a big, giant, juicy tomato on it, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start getting my mooncats out here so we can get this thing to grow a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get 7. Actually, we could probably just get 8 mooncats because this thing will grow pretty quick. And then sprinklers. Let's go ahead and stack some sprinklers on this thing. So let's do a grandmaster, a master. There we go. I don't know why it's not working. Godly, pro, advanced, and basic. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and drag this back over here so the mooncats want the pancakes and they all give me some big tomatoes maybe, right? Is this tomato okay? Oh, there we go. It's growing. It's growing a big tomato. All right, I'm going to actually pick these up because I think we can get bigger. And what we're going to do is let these mooncats sleep. Come on, guys. Go to bed. Go CP. Go CP mode. All right, I'm going to put it like right in here where there's all these mooncats right here and right here. This is good. Good stuff. This one's reaching a lot of them, though. I guess I could use my Triceratops to try and help me out with this today. Maybe water it a little bit more, huh? Oh, that's our tomato. That's pretty big. With that, let's go ahead and get some sprays applied to this thing so we can get it ready to become rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on it. We'll do a chocolate on it, a shocked, honey glazed, and it has silver. That's technically a growth mutation and it won't actually count towards getting rainbow. So we need to get one more. I'll use my main account for the next one. I have a ton of windstruck sprays and I always use pterodactyls. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that from over there. And there we go. We should now have, yeah, there we go, windstruck. That is 5 mutations. So we can go ahead and pick up all of these mooncats. And then we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our queen bee and we will spawn in our butterfly here. And then with that, we're also going to spawn in a golden goose because this guy I'm going to use to get an egg spawned in. So once this is done, we can move over fortune to it right away. That will save some time in the long run. And the butterfly's cooldown is so long that the queen bee will only target the butterfly. I mean, by the time the golden goose is done, the queen bee will be still cooling down. So we can get that golden egg in here and then we can get fortune moved over in just a little bit once that is ready. And then in the meantime, I'm going to come over here on my main account. Hello, main account. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a queen bee over here as well. And we're going to spawn in our kitsune over here. And that way we will get chakra applied to this tomato in just a second. And we'll get some mutations started on our tomato. So hopefully this goes well. Hopefully we get some good mutations and make some good money off this tomato. I don't know how much it's going to be. I'm curious to see. Yeah, we have a lot of mutations to go through. So let's get started. We'll be right back. We're going to wait for this to get rainbow. All right, so a little progress here, but our golden goose is now going to lay our fortune egg that we can go ahead and move fortune over from to our tomato. All right, so our golden goose is done with its egg laying job. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this golden egg over here. So hopefully my kitsune doesn't target it, but we will use a Spinosaurus in just a little bit to move that fortune over to our tomato, which will be nice. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. Queen bee is cooling down the butterfly, and the butterfly is now going to convert all of this to rainbow. So we get that 50 times multiplier on the tomato. There we go. Boom. It is now rainbow. So we can pick up our queen bee and our butterfly and start applying some mutations to this rainbow tomato. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite it real quick so I don't accidentally pick it up. So now we can go ahead and go down some sprays here. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the honey glaze spray to it. And I'm going to go ahead and apply fried, shocked, pollinated, and chocolate. And then on my main account, I'm going to apply some extra sprays from over there. And also our kitsune is on the way, so hopefully he targets this and not the golden egg behind me. Bro, he wants the egg. Why does this guy want the egg? All right, well, that's fine. Spinosaurus will move both mutations over to this in just a second. So anyways, on my main account though, I'm going to apply the bloom mutation spray, the verdant mutation spray, burnt, and also cloud touched. So now on this thing, we will have 10 mutations. And then once we get these two moved over, that'll be 12 mutations. So that is good to go. I'm going to go ahead then and I guess spawn in 2 Spinosauruses here so we can get fortune and chakra moved over. And with that, since these guys have to move that over, I might as well go ahead and spawn in a couple carrots here. And with that, I'm going to spawn in a pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done and out of the way. And I'm going to also spawn in my corrupt kitsune. So actually, you know what? I'm going to place these spinos in like 5 more minutes because I want the corrupt kitsune to apply its mutations and then have both of the Spinos eat the fortune, the chakra, tempestuous, and corrupt chakra. So that way everything gets moved over. So we'll do all that. We'll worry about that in a second. But anyways, all right. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in our corrupted scarlet. Since corrupt takes forever to get, I'm going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet because tranquil takes forever to get. And then I'm also going to spawn in 2 lobsters since molten and meteoric take forever to get, and that'll help with those. And then again, we're going to respawn our Spinos, so that will take up those last 2 slots, and then we'll get the pterodactyl to give us tempestuous, and we'll give the corrupt kitsune to give us corrupt chakra, and we'll just get that all moved over. This is structured a little bit differently than I normally do it. I usually do a couple different pets first, but this will save some time in the long run because we can get through more pets faster once we get all this out of the way. Once we can get this out of the way and the Spinos out of the way, then we can spawn in all of our other pets, and this whole process will just kind of go a lot faster. I think. I hope. It should. All right, so I think our corrupt kitsune is under the Spinosaurus timer now, so they should be good. I'm going to go ahead and spawn those guys back in then. All right, so our pterodactyl is pretty much done with this cooldown actually this time, so I'm going to go ahead and apply... Hey, buddy, stop moving. There you go. Give him a toy. He's going to do some stuff. And okay, we got Twisted and Windstruck on 2 carrots, so we have 2 of them with tempestuous. We only really need 1, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this one with Windstruck, and I'll pick up this one with tempestuous. There we go. So the other one has it directly on it. There we go. Yeah, this guy Windstruck directly on it, but this will convert to tempestuous in just a second. So pterodactyl's job is done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a couple more carrots here for the corrupt kitsune. All right, there we go. That should be enough. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that one with tempestuous, so our Spinos can move that over in just a second. And oh, there's one with silver. Hold on, let me get rid of that. I don't want them to try to move that because that will just go to nothing since we already have rainbow. All right, there we go. So we're good there. We can go ahead and pick up pterodactyl, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in spaghetti sloth because this dude needs 4 mutations, and that should be good. And then our Spinos are looking good. They're almost done with their cooldowns, so at least getting closer. Our corrupt kitsune's getting lower as well. I guess we can go ahead and boost our lobsters to try and get us molten done and out of the way. Hopefully they just don't add it to the tempestuous one, but okay. Anyways, that's a pretty good setup there. And yeah, we just got to really wait for this corrupted kitsune to be done with corrupt chakra, and then we got to wait for these Spinos to move all that over in a second. So hopefully they hurry up. Hopefully things hurry up here. I'm gonna try to get wet on this from like a kappa and then use a jackalope to get that to clay, and then we'll get ceramic done, which I don't even really know if it'll matter if we have ceramic or not, because if we have ceramic, then we can't have fried and burnt, which are already applied, and if we have fried and burnt, then we can't have ceramic. So it's like we either get 2 mutations or 1. Either way, we're still getting some pretty good multipliers. Also, sorry about that. Excuse me. All right, let's see if we get molten. I just did some molten in my pants.
Boy, what the f—
Oh, molten to one of the carrots. Which one got it? Okay, it's this one over here. All right, so the Spinos usually eat like 4 mutations at once. So one should eat fortune, and then carrot number 1, carrot number 2, and the other one should just eat chakra, and all that will get moved over. But yes, we got molten done and out of the way. We just need to get meteoric, and then we can move these lobsters out of the way, which would be good. Corrupt kitsune is almost done, so I'm gonna boost him. Same with these Spinos. Actually, I'm gonna wait like an extra minute just to make sure I don't waste a toy, because sometimes these guys only have like a 2-second timer difference. So let me just wait a second here. All right, I think we should be good now to at least boost the corrupt kitsune. He should be good no matter what now for that. Yeah, there we go. So we'll get that in just 2 minutes. And then I guess these Spinos, they should be fine. Let me see. Yeah, 3 minutes. All right, so this should help. Let's go ahead and get these guys done. And we'll be back in 2 minutes when these things, all these pets are ready to do some justice for us or something like that. All right, it's about time for the magic to happen, okay? So corrupt kitsune. Oh, first time I got the eclipsed event. I didn't know that's how it did. I was so confused. Anyways, corrupt kitsune is going to shoot some stuff out. Let's see if we get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra. What are you gonna do, buddy? He's just shooting everything. He's shooting everything. Oh, we got it directly put onto the tomato. Good news for us. Wait, that is the wrong tomato. That is not good news for us. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pick that one up. I thought it was the right tomato. Okay, we got eclipsed on one of these carrots. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and he got it on so many different things, dude. Look at all these eclipsed things, dude. I'm overstimulated. I'm overstimulated. I don't know. We don't have time. The Spinos are about to do their thing. All right, quickly. Did we get eclipsed on this directly? Yes, we did. Okay, so we can go ahead and pick up eclipsed of that, and then we can go ahead and pick up one of these corrupt chakras, and then we got tempestuous. All right, and we can pick up this eclipsed. All right, cool. Let's carefully pick up. I guess we'll keep that wet one. They can move that over. That's fine. All right, cool. We got wet, tempestuous, corrupt chakra, eclipsed, and molten. That's fine. And then this guy's eating some stuff. Oh, this one has harmonized chakra on it, actually, so he could just eat that and move that over. Cool. He's doing that. He's doing exactly that. All right, cool. Get that tempestuous. Eat that up. Yummy, yummy. Yes, yes. All right. Can we get that molten, though? All right, we got wet, harmonized chakra, tempestuous, and I guess corrupt chakra, even though we don't need that now. What is this guy doing? Wait, he's gonna eat one more. Eat that molten, please. Eat that molten, please. Eat that molten, please. I don't know. He didn't eat molten, but he did eat fortune and tempestuous again, I guess, and corrupt chakra. All right, so they did not move over molten, so that's kind of unfortunate. But we can leave that molten there, I guess, and they will move that over soon. So we'll leave that one there, and we're good. All right. Well, we got a lot of stuff done, but I guess we'll leave them. So in the next roundabout, they will eat both mutations, and we can get that molten for sure added on. But in the meantime, we don't need this corrupt kitsune anymore. He did his job at least, and we got a ton of mutations done and added onto this tomato, so it is looking pretty good here. All right, and I guess since we got wet done, we can go ahead and spawn in a jackalope to get the sandy mutation, so we can get that converted over to ceramic. So let's go ahead and get a jackalope in here. Can we get sandy done, please? Let's get that sandy done out of the way. Don't think about doing it on the carrot either, by the way. Just do it on the tomato, please. Okay, he failed. You know what? That's fine. He's also trying to apply to this tiny little tomato on there that I can't even see, bro. Where even is that little thing? Hey, stop. You're being loud. What are you going to give us first? All right, we got sauce on the tomato. I guess that makes the most sense. So good job with that. Can we get this jackalope sandy mutation done, please? And then maybe if we can get meteoric done, that'd be nice too. Let's check the timer on my phone. We have about 4 minutes left for the tranquil and the corrupt. So I'm going to go ahead and boost these guys to hopefully get those two out of the way, maybe. Let's see. Oh. Okay, we got Sandy. Sandy's done, but Corrupt and Tranquil failed. But Sandy is done and applied to the tomato. Is it the right tomato? Of course it's not the right tomato. Why would he do it on the right one? But that's fine. We can use our Spinos to move that over, so that shouldn't be a big problem there. So we can go ahead and pick up the jackalope. He's done with his job, and I guess we'll start out next with a disco bee. Oh, and we have a heat wave event. Good timing here, so now we can get sun-dried. I'll turn our verdant in there to paradisal, which is good. All right, we have paradisal on our tomato now, and we also have sun-dried on this tomato, which we didn't really need, but that's fine. More work for the Spinosauruses, but we should in one round get this done, because they'll eat eclipsed and maybe sandy, and then they'll eat molten, and then like sun-dried, and then they'll get all applied to this. So that should be fine, and we can get rid of these Spinos for a little bit. But yeah, we have paradisal on there, which is good. Yeah, once sandy gets moved over, that'll turn into clay, and that should instantly go to ceramic, but it will probably get rid of our burnt and our fried, but I guess that is okay. I guess. I don't know. I guess that's fine. Meteoric. I'm manifesting some meteoric mutation right now. Let's go. First try. Actually, that is never happened usually, but hey, that's good. And we got paradisal on this smith, so it's gonna be a little bit harder for the Spinos, but they'll sort it out. But hey, we got meteoric done. I'm happy with that. That will save us some time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another disco bee to try and get disco done and out of the way, so we can not worry about that one anymore. Let's get the junk bot going, because oil takes a while. Oh, we need to get the raiju done, actually. Maybe instead of the junk bot, since the raiju is a pretty easy one to do, I'm gonna go ahead and get him done next then. All right, actually, let's just wait. Let's wait a second, because I want these Spinos to move over some mutations real quick. We really need to get that meteoric, sandy, and molten moved over. I don't know if we're gonna get all those that lucky, but let's let them actually do another wave real quick, so I'll save some time in the long haul. And then we'll spawn on the raiju once their cooldowns are a couple minutes less. All right, I think I'm ready to make some life decisions now, so here we go. Our Spinos have about 8 minutes left on their cooldown, so what that means is I'm gonna go ahead and give these guys a toy, because now they'll have 4 minutes. And now, because they have less cooldown than the raiju will have, I'm gonna spawn this guy in, and I'm gonna wait a second once these guys are done to put a carrot down for the raiju to eat, and then he can apply static to our tomato. Our disco bee cooldown is also almost done, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him a boost here. Where's that? This one. That way we can try and get disco done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and give a boost to our spaghetti sloth to get the next ingredient done, and also hopefully get aromatic done and out of the way, since that one usually takes a while. And then both of our scarlets here still have quite a while for their cooldown, so I'm gonna wait to give them any kind of boost. Come on, spaghetti sloth, give us that aromatic. Let's get that done. Failed. Okay, that's not getting it done, but we still love you, I think. There's no way this disco bee fails. Am I right? Like, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna give us disco, and it's gonna be directly on the tomatoes, so we have less to worry about with the Spinosauruses, and it's gonna be like a really good time. All right, come on. Disco. I thought we had something going on. I thought we felt each other there, but you know what? That's fine. Maybe Biscuit's got it under control this time around. I don't know. Maybe they just all hate me. Are you kidding me? You're coming for the carrot? What are you going for? But yeah, he's applying mutation to this carrot. I don't know why he's over there doing it, but we did get meatballs. So honestly, if we get that moved over, that'd be great. But that's another roundabout we got to go with these Spinosauruses. So, these guys just be applying all the mutations to not the main tomato, but that's fine. He's eating off this carrot, even though he's like way over there. Okay, we got molten. That's what we needed. Perfect. All right, get meteoric or sandy. Okay, we got meteoric. Perfect. That was a perfect run. Good job, Spino. All right, now, next guy. Hey, buddy, need you to focus here. You got to do meatball and you got to do sandy. We don't want eclipse and we don't want paradisal. We already have those. Okay, what are you eating? What do you got? Okay, meatball. Good job, buddy. You can do this. You got to just do the sandy. You just got to do the sandy. Bro, you ruined it. I was getting so hyped up, and then you ruined it. Ooh, I would like to eat the paradisal, even though you already would have that on your plant. I would like to eat the paradisal, would we? I just realized I'm tripping, by the way. I probably should get rid of these disco bees. We got disco. Sorry, I'm kind of dumb, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up then, and we'll swap them with some new pets. But our Raiju here is about to do some cool stuff and eat this stupid bugged carrot, and then apply static to the tomatoes. All right, here comes Raiju. He's eating the bugged carrot. Let's see if it disappears, though. Okay, there we go. It's gone. And boom. Static applied to both tomatoes. So Raiju is done as well. Let's go ahead and pick him up. With that, let's go ahead and spawn in 2 chicken zombies now so we can get zombified done and out of the way. And then we can get the junk bot back in here officially to try and apply oil for us. This video is actually gone a lot faster than all the other ones, I think, because our pets have actually cooperated and we kind of had a faster process today on how we did all this. I think this is a better strategy so we're not waiting around wasting time. I'm hoping soon though that the devs add a way to get more pets, like active pets at a time, only because there's so many pets in this game now. So if you really want to stack mutations, there should be a way that you could upgrade your active pets to have a little bit more, even if it was like only 10. That would really help me out. 8 pets is a lot, but it'd be nice to have a couple more since there's so many in this game now and there's so many different items and fruits and plants and blah 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 blah. So our spaghetti sauce is about to apply its next mutation. Hopefully it's pasta so we can get spaghetti done. Let's see if we get anything. Okay, we got pasta done. We didn't get tranquil. What about corrupt? Can we get corrupt done, please? Corrupt has failed as well. Very sad. But hey, man, we got pasta done. And also we technically now have clay on the tomatoes. So if these spinos just move that over, then that wet will be gone. Or actually, I'll probably stay, and then we'll get ceramic done, and then we can get frozen applied. And now we just need aromatic from that guy, and we still need to get tranquil, and we still need to get corrupt from our scarlets. So I'm gonna go ahead and set another timer for them, and hopefully they will help us this next time actually get those mutations done. The next wave of magic is about to happen, and you're going to witness it here. Our Spinosaurus is about to eat some mutations, or a mutation off our tomato, and then the other one will do the same thing, and then hopefully they actually give us the ones we need. So the only one we don't need actually out of the stack here is static. So as long as you get clay, disco, and pasta, we're good. What you eat, buddy? Okay, he ate clay. Good. Now that should actually instantly make this turn into ceramic. Yeah, it's ceramic now. We have lost, fried, and burnt, but we have ceramic, which I believe is a better multiplier overall. Let me do some research on that while Junkbot does this thing. Oh. Okay, he failed. You failed me. You failed me, Junkbot. I was doing research and you failed me while I was looking away. I'm very sad. Okay, so ceramic is a 30 times multiplier. What about fried and burnt? Yo, we got aromatic done directly on the tomato. Spaghetti Sloth, you're a good little guy, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up, and your job has been done. I'm gonna spawn in a mimic octopus. What's our next spino going to eat? Static. That's the one we didn't need, and then he just spit it right back out on the static. So you pretty much did nothing for us. I hope you're proud. Why do you do that? All right, yeah, so ceramic is better. So it's actually fine if we lose fried and burnt. Fried is 8 times, burnt is 4 times, and ceramic is 30 times. So 30 times compared to like 12 times. Yeah, much better. Anyways, yeah, our spaghetti sauce is done. We're pretty much just waiting now for the spinos to actually eat the right mutations and apply it so we can get spaghetti completed on the tomato and get disco. Okay, actually we got lucky there in the second chicken zombie just applied zombified directly to the tomato. So good for us, I guess. That is done. We have zombified now on the right one. Wow, these guys are coming in clutch. All right, so yeah, we just need corrupt, tranquil, and oil. All right, so I had my microphone muted as I recorded those last 2 clips, but we did get one of our Spinosauruses to actually move over disco to our main tomato, so that is good to go. And then we had one of our scarlets actually apply the corrupt mutation, so now we need the Spinosauruses to move corrupt and pasta over to our main tomato, and then those will be done. But we still need to wait for Tranquil, and we're also still need to wait for oil from our junk bot. Now, I'm going to wait for these Spinos to do another roundabout here and try and get Corrupt and Pasta moved over. They've been moving over Static and like the wrong ones. So once they move over these two, I will spawn in my Queen Bee to actually help the cooldowns for the Mimic Octopus, the junk bot, and then also this Tranquil Scarlet. So that way we can try and save some more time. I'm actually just going to go ahead and AFK. I'm also going to throw out some Raptors here so we can work on getting them leveled up so we can get better chances for Amber. And I'm going to go ahead and throw down a Queen Bee to help with some cooldowns, and that should be good. I would throw down 2 Queen Bees, but then they usually just cool down each other and it doesn't really help. So I'm just going to do 1, and that should be a decent setup. And I'm going to go ahead and AFK now. All right, so I AFK'd for about an hour and magic happened, dude, okay? On our tomato here, I actually checked, and we did get that nighttime event as I was expecting, so we did get Moonlit officially added to our tomato. And with that, our bird finally applied Tranquil. We finally had our Spinosauruses move over that pasta mutation, so we were able to get Spaghetti completed. We are good. We have pretty much all of our mutations. The only thing we could really get at this point is Aurora, Bloodlit, and Celestial, but we did not get any Aurora events in the last couple hours recording this, so I don't know if we'll be getting any of those. Oh, and I guess Acidic. Yeah, Acidic would have been nice too, but Bloodlit we could get from the Kappas, but they just take forever. So anyways, we have our tomato here with 25 mutations, and we did have fried and burnt on it, which would have been 27 mutations, but those got taken away for ceramic. But if we split the mutations on this, tempestuous makes this 26 mutations, spaghetti makes this 28, paradisal makes this 29, frozen makes this up to 30, ceramic makes this pretty much up to like 32, and I guess technically even like 34 since we lost fried and burnt, and then harmonized chakra would be about 35. So this tomato has a lot of mutations on it. It's a pretty good size, I guess probably one of the best sizes you can get for a tomato. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't know how big of a tomato you can get, but this is one of the biggest tomatoes I have seen. Anyways, regardless, I think we have a pretty good tomato here with all the mutations. I'm going to go ahead and give some boost to my Raptors to see if we'll get Amber. So let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Okay, we did not get Amber this time around, but that is fine. We did get Eclipse, which is like a bonus that we got instead of Amber, so that's pretty good. So without further ado, Steven, what would you value my tomato at with all these mutations on it? Okay, this is actually not bad. So yeah, 84 million is actually pretty good for this tomato. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this thing is not usually going to be worth that much. I mean, for almost 100 million, that's pretty good for a tomato. You would never really see a tomato with this many mutations and worth this much in this game. Usually, if you're gonna get this many mutations, you would do it on a better fruit and you'd make so much more money into the billions or trillions. But for this being just a little old tomato, 84 million is pretty good. And honestly, I expected less than that. And as you can actually see over here, my little pile of carrots, I did get a bunch of carrots with Dawnbound, and I have them favorited, but we can go ahead and use these for our Spinos later to move Dawnbound and Moonlit, and also Glimmering over to our potato, so we can get that extra multiplier bonus from that, which would be pretty nice. So without further ado though, let's go ahead and get started with this. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the potato down right here. All right, we actually need an apple gazelle first, because what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plant down 6 sugar apple trees. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all so we can grow our potato plant and then also grow our sugar apples. All right. And then real quick, we're going to go ahead and carefully pick up these sugar apples to see if we can get the... I think I just accidentally picked up one of my carrots over there. But anyways, we're going to do this to try and get the warp mutation done with our apple gazelle. Wow, usually we have it by now, dude. What's going on? What's going on, apple gazelle? What are you doing, buddy? Okay, well, let me try that again. And maybe to make this a little bit better, I'm going to boost the gazelle. There we go. Oh, okay, there we go. We got warped on a sugar apple. Hopefully I didn't just pick it up. Okay, no, it's right here. We're good. All right, so I'm going to travel this over here, and I'm also going to travel one of these carrots over here that has Glimmering, Moonlit, and Dawnbound, and we're going to start with our little platter buffet for our Spinos for later. All right, and then with that, we can actually pick up these potatoes, because these are not going to be our potatoes that we want. Let's pick up that apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and reclaim all these sugar apples just to make it a little bit easier, because I would keep them, but with the event currently going on, there's so many Glimmering mutations, and it just takes forever for the Spinos to move mutations over. over. But anyways, now we can go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here. All right, that's 7. I'm gonna also spawn in a triceratops to help with growing these potatoes. We're gonna get a sprinkler in here. We're gonna go ahead and put down our grandmaster sprinkler right there. Let's go ahead and put down our master sprinkler. Where's godly? There it is. Advanced, of course, and then we're going to do basic, and there we go. Now our potatoes should hopefully grow in big and strong and mighty. So we're gonna wait for this to grow. Our triceratops should hit that. I'm also gonna sell all these dance party going on my main account's plot. I'm gonna go ahead and sell all these sugar apples to get them out of the way, clear some inventory space, and there we go. We got some moon cats sleeping, so let's go ahead and throw this in the pile. Actually, maybe over here. There's a lot of moon cats pretty close together, actually. I don't know. Maybe right here would be a good spot. It's kind of a good spot everywhere right now. There's a lot of moon cats sleeping. Maybe I'll keep it right here. There's about almost like 3 stacked on that with the sprinklers. That should be good. Hopefully that'll give us a really big and nice potato. All right, this big guy here is actually growing pretty big. So that's not even the potato. I think that's just the stem. So we'll have to see what grows on this side. But let's do that once our triceratops smacks it. All right, you're gonna hit it. Okay, that was a 33-minute advancement, but like literally nothing happened. That's pretty crazy. And the other one's not even growing in yet. Oh wait, here it is. It's right here. I guess I'll hit grow all and see what we get, because I think we might have some pretty big potatoes. Let's see. Okay, not too shabby. This is actually a pretty good size here. I don't really know how big the potatoes can get, but this one does look pretty good. So I think we'll keep this one. Maybe we'll try to get one more and just see what kind of size we can get for the one over here. So I feel like we can do a little bit better than that. Let's try it one more time. We'll keep this one though and just give it a look, give it a test here. Let's just see if we can get a bigger one than that. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, this one's actually a lot bigger than that one. I'm glad we waited a little bit longer. Okay, well, now we have our actual potato that we're going to use. Look at that thing, dude. It's sticking out of my plot. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of these pets here. Let's go ahead and get started with getting this thing rainbow. So I'm gonna spawn in a butterfly. We're gonna spawn in a queen bee, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, and it'll convert the 5 mutations we're about to put on the potato into rainbow. And we're also gonna spawn in our golden goose to get the fortune egg out of the way, so we can get that egg laid. We can place it over here on our little entree platter for the spinos, and then we can get the fortune mutation moved over shortly. But with that, let's go ahead and get this potato ready for golden conversion here. So I'm gonna put pollinated on it, wind struck. We'll use a wet, we'll do chocolate, and then we will use a honey sprinkler here to turn this to honey glazed. So silver doesn't count towards rainbows, but we do have our other 5 mutations: chocolate, wind struck, wet, honey glazed, and pollinated. These will convert to rainbow with our butterfly, and then we can get the show on the road and get some good mutations on this. And with that, my main account should have the kitsune actually come over here in the next minute, so we're gonna wait for that real quick. And actually, I kind of hope it takes a carrot, because we don't want it to steal the potato just yet. We need to save that chakra mutation. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, just in case, so we don't have it steal our potato and add chakra to this one, is I'm gonna move it over here for a second, face it way out of the plot there, so that way the kitsune will hopefully only target one of my carrots here. All right, so my main account's kitsune is headed over, and he is directly aiming towards what looks to be a carrot, but the potato is also over here, so let's see. Okay, he applied it to a carrot. Perfect. Thank you. I guess this one does have luminous on it. I don't remember putting luminous on this, but I guess maybe it got multiplied from one of my T-Rexes when I was trying to get Dawnbound multiplied. So we do have luminous on this, and we have chilled, chakra, Dawnbound, and glimmering. So I'm actually going to go ahead and travel this carrot over here, and this will be in favor of the spino platter instead of this one. Now this one does have moonlit on it though, so I guess we can use that for that. But I don't want to get rid of 2 Dawnbounds, but I guess it doesn't really matter, because I'll use T-Rexes again to duplicate all the Dawnbounds and have more carrots later. So I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite that then, and our spinos can eat that. But yeah, we do have chakra now, and we have all these mutations, so that is good to go there. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK now, and we'll be back once our potato turns rainbow, and we'll get some mutations started on it. Oh, actually, before we AFK for a couple minutes to get this rainbow, I'm actually gonna do one more thing. I'm actually gonna favorite this potato for a second, and I'm gonna spawn in an advanced sprinkler, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my mandrakes. I have 4 of them here, and we are going to just plant some mandrake seeds down and use some watering cans to get rot mutation done. Hopefully pretty quick. I think these guys are all boosted still. No, they're not. Let me give some toys real quick just to make this go a little bit faster and hopefully save a couple mandrake seeds. All right, let's see if we can get rot done. All right, there we go. We have rot applied to a potato. Is it actually this potato though? No, it's not. All right, that's actually a good thing. We don't want it on this potato, because all of this is about to convert over to Sorry, brain fart, bro. This is about to convert over to rainbow, so I'm glad we actually did not get rot on this potato itself. We have it on one of these potatoes in the mix, so that's a good thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up the rest of these then, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that, and let's wait now for that to convert to rainbow, but we have the rot mutation out of the way. We're good to go. I'm gonna pick up these mandrakes while here, and now we're just gonna wait for this goose, which I'm gonna boost him so we can get that egg done, pick him up, and then our queen bee can just focus on our butterfly. All right, so our golden goose is going to lay its egg now, so we can get the fortune egg, and then that will be transferred over to our potato later with a spino. But there we go. We got our egg. So fortune egg has been laid. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this golden goose now. That is good. We're going to go ahead and travel this thing over to our little platter for our spinos, of course. And I think next, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and get our Raiju started. That way we can get the static mutation ready. And by the time the Raiju is finished with its ability, then when we start doing all the other mutations, we won't risk that carrot that we're about to put down right here getting any other mutations on it, because we're actually going to put shocked on this carrot. There we go. I added it from my main account, and that way the Raiju will eat this carrot and apply static to our potatoes, probably our sugar apples, maybe our carrots, and we'll have the static mutation done. And that way other pets don't apply stuff to this carrot, so we don't have to wait to get it again if they accidentally do. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and boost my queen bee to get that butterfly's cooldown done. I'm going to also boost that Raiju to save a little bit. Actually, the Raiju is boosted, so we'll boost him again a little bit to save some time on that, and we should be good. And then, yeah, all these carrots I have over here are still favorited. So when we do get our spinos in, they will not eat any of these. And we also do have a sandy carrot here. So maybe to save some time with the jackalopes, I will maybe move that over, actually. It doesn't really matter too much if we use some of these, because I will just use a T-Rex later to duplicate the Dawnbound mutation more for us. So I guess with that, I will just go ahead and move this sandy carrot over here. I guess what we can do, this one has sandy, moonlit, and Dawnbound. I can move this one over here. So I'll refavorite that one, and then I'll unfavorite this one. That way we can get moonlit from this one and sandy, and then that way we can get luminous and chakra, and both of them will give us Dawnbound, so that's good. All right, I'm sure I gave some of you a heart attack because I did not favorite these carrots here for a second, and these ones have 5 mutations, so the butterfly could easily convert these to rainbow, but I did go ahead and favorite them, so now it can only target this potato since everything else is favorited that has multiple mutations. But yeah, I guess I gave myself a heart attack too for a second because I almost didn't realize that. But there we go. Queen bee cooled down the butterfly. Butterfly converted our potato to rainbow, and we are now good. We can go ahead and pick up the butterfly. We can pick up our queen bee. We can go ahead and boost this Raiju to get static done. And then let's go ahead and unfavorite these now that these are good to go. And we have our rainbow potato. So with that, we can go ahead and reapply our sprays. So I'm going to go ahead, and I don't really need to use my glimmering spray yet. I'm going to save that for once the event ends because we have glimmering all over the place, excuse me. So I'm going to put pollinated onto this. We're going to save windstruck because we have tempestuous we're going to add. Pollinated, we'll put chocolate, and then we are going to put a honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back. So my main account here, I'm going to add the Cloud Touch spray. So wet's added, we'll add shock back onto it, and then we'll put verdant onto it. All of our mutations are on here now, and then we're going to get everything else moved over. So we have rainbow, shocked, chocolate, verdant, wet, honey glaze, cloud touch, and pollinated so far, which brings us to 8 mutations on the potato, and we're going to get a lot more in just a little bit. Anyways, our Raiju is going to be the first pet for our guaranteed mutations to eat this and apply static, so we're going to let him do that in a second here. So I'm going to spawn in a lemon lion for the brain rot mutation. I'm going to spawn in a peach wasp for the plasma mutation. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl for, okay, well that didn't come up with pterodactyl, but we'll spawn in our corrupt kitsune as well for corrupt chakra. We'll spawn in our pterodactyl here for our tempestuous mutation, and we'll spawn in our cockatrice as well for that toxic mutation. And I would spawn in the jackalopes as well, but we did already get sandy, so we don't need the jackalopes today. I think with those last 2 slots, we'll go ahead and get started with our disco bee so we can get the disco mutation done. And real quick, let me just take a look to make sure I'm not missing anything, because there's so many different pets. I tend to forget now if I'm missing anything. So let me just make sure I have all the guaranteed mutation pets out on the battlefield right now to give us those mutations. Oh, I almost forgot the phoenix, dude. See, there's so many now. I forget. All right, so I'll pick up a disco bee for now and put the phoenix down because we gotta get that flaming mutation from our phoenix. And I believe that is all of the guaranteed mutation pets out now. And then after these guys, yeah, we'll focus on disco bees, chicken zombies, and then our AFK set of pets. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do here, so we're gonna let our pets do their things and finish their cooldowns, with our Raiju actually being the first one here who's going to eat this carrot here that is shocked and going to apply that static mutation. All right, eat that. Give me that static mutation. All right, we got some static on carrots. We got static on a sugar apple. Some more carrots. All right, so we're good. Where did static go on the sugar apple? I'm not seeing that one. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in that disco bee back then, and we'll focus on disco and zombified once we get all these guaranteed mutations. Hopefully these disco bees will come in clutch though, so we can just focus on zombified. All right, the lemon lion just applied the brain rot mutation to a carrot. I hardly just missed it. I wasn't paying attention for a second there. I was on my phone, bro. Can't be texting and mutating, I guess. But here we go. Carrot. This carrot specifically has the brain rot mutation, so we will go ahead and move this one over. Again, I'm not too worried about the dawn-bound mutation being on all these. I got extra carrots for that reason, so we can easily duplicate more dawn-bound carrots for the next videos. But yeah, there we go. So this carrot has brain rot on it. We'll unfavorite that and add that to our collection. So thank you, Mr. Lemon Lion, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up now, buddy. I'm gonna spawn in another disco bee so we can hopefully get disco done and then focus just on zombified after these guys are done. So let's see what happens there. I'm also gonna go ahead and boost this pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So let's go ahead and wait just a second here. Let's get that flaming mutation done and out of the way. All right, let's see. Oh, he's flying. He's flying. He's going. He's going. All right, we got it on 4 fruits. Did we actually get it on the potato directly? No, we didn't get it on this. Did we get it on... Okay, we got some on these carrots. That's all we need to know. All right, cool. So flaming is done, and it's on some of these carrots over here. So that is perfect. That works for us. We can go ahead and pick up our phoenix now. And who's next? Cockatrice is next, and pterodactyl's next. So let's go ahead and wait for them. Cockatrice will give us toxic. Pterodactyl should hopefully give us tempestuous, and then we can swap those guys out as well. We do have 3 disco bees, so I'm going to go ahead and place another disco bee, and we're just going to get max disco bees to get that mutation done, and then we'll go for chicken zombies. All right, we got toxic spread to some carrots and to potatoes, so our cockatrice is done. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. Let's see, did we get it on our main potato? No, we got it on this one over here. Okay, and our pterodactyl is next to give us tempestuous. Now I guess the one thing I didn't think of is when the spinos eat, they will not eat from the favorited fruits here, but they can eat from these unfavorited ones and spread it to these favorited fruits. So that might be a bit of a problem, because we wanted to get on the tomato, we wanted to get it on the potato, so we'll have to think about that. And I might need to actually pick up these carrots and maybe just save 1 dawn-bound carrot or AFK dawn-bound before the next video again, because I didn't think that one over, did I? But anyways, our pterodactyl is done here. Tempestuous is done, and that is another 2 pet slots open. So our disco bees are almost done with their cooldowns, or at least a couple of them. So I want to try to get disco done first, but the chicken zombies do take a while for their cooldown, so I might as well start getting some chicken zombies in here, and I'll go 4 and 4. Once we get peach wasp done and crep kitsune, I can spawn in 4 chicken zombies, and I'll have 4 disco bees. But hopefully we'll get lucky, and these disco bees will be quick and give us the disco mutation pretty quick. Zephy's almost done, so I'm gonna actually boost him, and there he is. So let's see if he will give us the disco mutation, because maybe if we could get him to do it first and he just gets it done and out of the way, then we can just focus on chicken zombies and our life will be easier. That doesn't always happen. We usually have a tough life. Our pets don't really like us. That's a problem. All right, Zephy, come on, buddy. All right, he failed. Just like I said, you know, I didn't think he would like us, but it was worth a shot. All right, so let's see if our Crep Kitsune gives us Foxfire Crep Chakra, maybe? Maybe, that'd be nice, right? Right, buddy? Right? Okay, we only got Corrupt Chakra on 1 golden egg, so we're gonna go ahead and take him away for now, and then maybe we can try and AFK him later to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra, but as long as we have the regular Corrupt Chakra, that works for now. Disco Bee's going off, and we got Disco done and applied to one of our sugar apples, which is actually perfect for us. That means we are good with our Disco Bees as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Crep Kitsune here. We're gonna pick up our Disco Bees, and now we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in some more chicken zombies and max these guys out so we can prepare to hopefully get the zombified mutation and get ready for our AFK grind here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicken zombies. I thought we had more, but just to help out, I guess I can put in a mimic octopus as well and a queen bee just to make sure we get zombified done faster. And then our peach wasp here is about to be done with its cooldown in about 2 minutes to give us the plasma mutation. And once we have plasma done, then we should be good with all of our guaranteed pets. He's gonna sting one of our chicken zombies though for now, I believe. Yep. All right, but yeah, these guys still have a very long time for the cooldowns. We still have 13 minutes in total, so we'll have to wait a little bit. But the queen bee will help with that. Mimic octopus will help as well, and hopefully we get zombified done on one of these first tries, and then we can prepare for our AFK setup. All right, our peach wasp is going to apply plasma. Looks like it's going to a sugar apple. Yep, there we go. So plasma has been applied to a sugar apple. We're good with our peach wasp, and now we just have to wait for these chicken zombies to give us zombified, and then we can do our AFK setup. Now, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is spawn in a gnome, since we do have quite a few gnomes here. I can boost the gnome, and that will boost its basic ability, and since we have all these gnomes, I'll boost that percent chance. So we should be able to get gnome pretty quick. That way, when we actually go AFK, I can spawn in a kappa, and we can fill up our 8 pet slots, but otherwise, we'll just let him be one of our AFK pets as we normally do, and then we'll swap him out with a kappa later for bloodlet. But besides that, yeah, once we get zombified, we should be good to go for our AFK setup, and then eventually we'll throw in some spinos and get everything moved to our potato. So we just had our mimic octopus apply the zombified mutation to one of our sugar apples over here, right here, the same one with disco on it. So zombified is done. However, I do have some bad news. I have some real bad news, actually. I did something bad. So I was trying to boost one of my pets, and I accidentally picked up the potato right here that had tempestuous and rot on it, dude. I need those. So I'm gonna go ahead and real quick spawn in my mandrakes again. I'm gonna favorite this potato. Oh, wait, that one's already favored. I'm gonna favorite this potato just so I don't pick anything up on that. We're gonna get brought back. This one's pretty easy, and then we're gonna I mean, tempestuous is pretty easy as well, but we do have to wait a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my pterodactyl again and get tempestuous back, and then we can actually do our AFK grind. But I am gonna have to wait about 8 minutes for this guy to give us tempestuous again. However, at least it wasn't like pets that take forever. It was only rot, it was only tempestuous, everything else we had on everything else, so we're good with that. All right, come on, give me that rot mutation back. I messed up big time. Just forgive me and give me it back, please. Oh, thank you. All right, we got raw on a sugar apple now, so that's done again. That was annoying. Now we just gotta wait for our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous again, and then we can really do our ultimate AFK setup. I guess right now while I'm here, I'm gonna boost this gnome real quick and maybe help us get that beautiful mutation, the gnome mutation, maybe. Okay, or I won't get it. That's fine. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna wait for a pterodactyl. I guess I'll go ahead and get the AFK setup going, though. I will swap this guy out, though, once we get tempestuous back, but I'm gonna go ahead and put down my tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation, krupp scarlet for the krupp mutation. We'll put down our lobster for molten and meteoric, which we can get infernal and blazing from. I'm gonna go ahead and put down my spriggan for the blue mutation. We already have my gnome down for the gnomed mutation, and let's see what else, because we have a couple more that I know I'm missing. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna get the griffin down for the cyclonic mutation, and I will get my spaghetti sloth down for the spaghetti mutation, which is the meatball sauce and pasta mutation mixed all together, and the aromatic mutation because I have that shard on him. And then I think we're missing one more pet. I know I am somewhere. I know we're gonna do kappas eventually, so I will put my kappas in my hotbar just to remind myself. But what other pet are we missing? Because I know that there's one that I always do with this combo. Let me just double check here real quick. Bro, my brain is broken right now. I know there's someone in here I'm missing. They'll come back to me, I'm sure. I'm looking right at it and I can't think of it. So I'll spawn it in a second, though, whenever I get tempestuous back, and I'll let you know what it is once I figure it out, because my brain hurts right now. So I don't know how this makes sense, but there's a heat wave while there's a frost snow event. This is completely ruining my immersion right now. This is not possible. Anyways, I remembered what pet I was missing. It's the junk bot. So this guy will go into my AFK collection. It's the second one pterodactyl is done. I do have some tanning mirrors. I just wanted to make sure I'm going to get sun-dried. I think I should be good. They're in range. And I guess I do have a star crawler as well. I'll put one over here, though, just in case, to hit some of that stuff. If we do, for some reason, get a celestial event. I don't know if we will, but that'd be very, very nice. All right, so hopefully my pterodactyl reapplies tempestuous first try, since I messed up and I'm dumb and stupid and idiot. Sorry, tempestuous, please. Back to something. Bro, why are you not giving me tempestuous? Why are you not giving me tempestuous? He's upset at me because I took it away earlier. I did not mean to, man. It was an honest mistake. All right, well, anyways, once we get tempestuous, we'll get Junkbot in there and AFK, but I'm very sad now. All right, so we have Twisted, or I guess Tempestuous, back on some sugar apples and some of our carrots here. So we should be good. Let me just double check, make sure it actually did get on one of these sugar apples. There it is. All right, cool. So we have Tempestuous on a sugar apple. I did place these carrots down just in case, but since they're good to go and we have it on a sugar apple, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these up, and we are good. So we can finally swap out our pterodactyl, put down our junk bot, and now we have our official AFK setup. Now, real quick, I'm gonna see if our gnome actually ends up giving us gnome, because if he does, we can go ahead and put down our kappa, and then we can really just AFK for a bit. But if not, we're gonna have to do some more waiting and come back in just a little bit. And I guess in the meantime, I can also boost my Spriggan. Excuse me. So I'll do that to see if we get Bloom done, and that should help a little bit as well. All right, gnome, come on, gnome. It failed. All right, well, it was worth a shot. Real quick, let's just see if we do get bloom from our Spriggan. All right, Spriggan, don't let us down. Get us bloom so we can swap you out for a Kappa. I don't want to get rid of you. I love you, but like, that'd be nice. Oh, you're going kind of far away. Hey, buddy. Buddy, come back over here, please. Get a little bit closer, please. All right, come on, bloom. Yeah, I think he was out of range. All right, well, that breaks my heart. Thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing, dude. You know what? I'm out of here.
Bruh, chill.
All right, our Scarlet Macaw applied Tranquil to our potato, and I think it was actually it was our actual potato that we needed it on. So, all right, we got our Scarlet done, our first one, our Tranquil one done. Let's see if we get Corrupt. I did boost him to try and get Corrupt, so hopefully we can get that done. Let's see it. All right, failed. Well, at least we got Tranquil done. That will be useful. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and actually place down some more carrots here. Let's do a couple here. And I guess we'll do a couple over here. And that should be good. I guess I'll do a couple in this corner as well. And then we're going to spawn in a Kappa to hopefully give us Bloodlet while we AFK. But I'm glad that Tranquil is done. All right, so while I was AFK, it looks like we had a lot of good stuff happen. So first off, as you can see, this other big potato that I have got Cyclonic on it. And it also got Bloom on it. So those are 2 more mutations done. And we could check off of our list. Oh, and he's going off again. All right, but we got those 2 done. We also got Corrupt done, which is another mutation out of the way from our from our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw. So I'm going to go ahead and travel this one over to the platter over here. Perfect. We don't really need Frozen. I think, do we already have Frozen? We have it on this one. So yeah, we don't really need the frozen carrots. I'll pick that up. We did get Meatball on this carrot, and I think we got it over there, but I will just move this over here just in case because we got another bloom on it anyways, so we'll do that. We got Pasta on this carrot. Then on this carrot over here, we got Oil, so we can get rid of our junk bot a second. Oil is done, so we'll go ahead and travel this over here. We also got Molten, so Molten's done, but we still need Meteoric, but we'll go ahead and move the Molten carrot over here as well. All right, Aromatic did just fail, but this carrot over here, we have we have Sauce and Pasta on it. I don't know, I can't speak, but that's sauce done as well. So that's pretty much all the spaghetti mutations done. We just need to make sure we have aromatic somewhere, but let's see, none on that. All right, so let's see if we got Bloodlet anywhere over here. Yeah, so I'm not seeing Bloodlet. We might have not gotten that while we're AFK. Doesn't look like it, so we'll have to wait around for Bloodlet a little bit longer, but we did get quite a bit done here, so that was some good progress. We're good with the junk bot. We are good with the Cyclonic, or the Griffin here that gives us Cyclonic. We're good with the Spriggan. We did get Bloom, and we are also good with the Corrupt Scarlet here. So we still need to get Gnomed. I'm gonna go ahead and boost him to see if we can get that done out of the way. Let's see. Let's test our luck, I guess. Failed. Okay. But yeah, we still need Gnomed. We still need Meteoric. We still need Aromatic from our Spaghetti Sloth. And then we still need to get Bloodlet. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another Kappa to help us get Bloodlet done with a couple of extra carrots. But okay, there we go. Now we have 2 Kappas to help us get Bloodlet. We'll hopefully get Aromatic. And then with those extra slots that we have left, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 of my Mega Spinosauruses here. And I'm going to spawn in another regular Spinosaurus. And that way we can start getting all these mutations moved over to our favorited potato right here. All right. So our potato is ready with all of these mutations on it. It is looking pretty good. We have a total of 31 mutations, and then if we separate some of these like spaghetti, we would have 33 mutations. With ceramic, we'd be up to about I think about 35. Harmonized chakra would bring us to 36. Maelstrom would bring us to, I want to say, 38. Gloom 39. Paradisal 40. Storm charge would be about 44, and infernal would bring us to about 47, 48. So we do have a lot of mutations on this thing. I wish we could have gotten like Celestial and Aurora. That would have made this even more, but we do have Dombat on it, which is a really good multiplier to have, so I'm happy about that. And this thing just looks insane, of course, because there's so many mutations on it. We're gonna try to add that 49th mutation on this with getting our raptor spawned in and trying to get amber. So let's see if we can get that done. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up our potato now. Or actually, you know what, instead of checking with Steven, everyone always asks me to do the magnifying glass, so I'm gonna check it with the magnifying glass first just to see what the value would be if it's over 1 trillion, and then we'll pick it up and see if we get amber. So let's go ahead and use a magnifying glass today first. So let's go ahead and click our potato here. Okay, so this thing is currently worth 1.5 trillion, which is actually an insane amount for this thing being a potato, which is the base value is around like 80k or something like that, or like 60k. So 1.5 trillion is very good. Let's see if we can actually get amber on it though. All right, we did not get amber on it, but we do have this potato with all these mutations worth 1.5 trillion, which is a very, very good amount of money. I think the Dombound mutation really helps getting that added on here today. But anyways, with all that effort, hopefully this thing will grow in pretty good and we'll get a really good taco fern to sprout. So let's go ahead and get started and get prepared to grow our taco fern. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here. We're going to spawn in our Triceratops, and then we're going to get our sprinklers ready. So we have a Grandmaster sprinkler we're going to use. We're going to put that right there. And then we're going to stack on top of that a Master, a Godly, Advanced, and Basic. And then we're going to put the Taco Fern right inside of there. All of our cats are sleeping over here, though. Hold on. All right, I'm going to put the Taco Fern right in here, just so we can get multiple moon cats to grow on it, which I think right here is about 3 of them. All right, that should be good. Let's go ahead and move that back in here by the sprinklers, and that should give us hopefully a pretty big Taco Fern. I almost just died by lightning. It almost just struck me. All right, so this thing's only at 1%. I guess we can buy some watering cans to get this process sped up a little bit. Oh, wow, that actually made it jump up. I don't know why the watering cans, like, unstuck the progress. So now it's at 39%. Let's spam our watering cans on it some more. Let's see what that gets it to. All right, we're up to 54, 55%. Pretty good. Let's see what the Triceratops does. I don't know how big this thing's going to be. Oh, okay. Well, he just smacked it, and now it's at 99%. However, how did the tacos grow on this thing? All right. It's been smacked. I think that made good progress. I don't know. This still looks kind of small. All right. So our Triceratops just again hit our Taco Fern, but this looks pretty small. I'm not gonna lie. So what I think I'm gonna do real quick is let me get my main account over here. I'm gonna hit grow all, get these picked up, and then I'm gonna try to get bigger ones because I don't think these are going to be big enough. So let me grow all real quick. Let me pick that up. Let's try this again. So I'm gonna do another Grandmaster right here. We're gonna do another regular Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic. I guess I'll trowel it real quick into these guys. Let their Mooncat abilities make it hopefully get big. All right, then we're gonna move it back, and I'm just gonna wait a little bit and see what kind of size we get for the next one, and hopefully this next time around it's much bigger than that. This is not nearly as big as we can get this thing. I know it. So yeah, like, see, like, that's probably a little bit better, I think. All right, so this Taco Fern looks much better than this one. This one's like only like a 2-piece Taco Fern. This one has like multiple pieces, so I don't know if that really matters, but this one's still pretty big. So I think we're good here on the size. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these Mooncats so they stop meowing in my ears, and then we're gonna go over to our sprays, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this Windstruck because we have Pterodactyls, so this will just be a free mutation to convert this thing to Rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this Windstruck on there. We're gonna apply this Chocolate on there, Shocked, and Pollinated, and then we have Honey Sprinkler, so I'll just use one of these Honey Glaze sprays, and then that should bring us to 5 mutations. It's technically gold does not count towards getting rainbow, so we have our other 5 mutations that will count now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our Queen Bee here to start her cooldown for our Butterfly, and that way the Queen Bee has about 7 minutes less of a cooldown. She'll cool down, make our Butterfly's cooldown go to 0, and then our Butterfly will convert this Taco Fern to Rainbow. And then in the meantime, over here on my main account, I'm also going to spawn a Queen Bee over there, and then also my Kitsune pet. So that way the Kitsune will steal this eventually, and then apply Foxfire Chakra or normal Chakra, or even both. All right, well, anyways, I'll be right back. We're gonna wait till this thing gets Rainbow. All right, our Queen Bee's cooldown is done. She is now giving her cooldown powers to the Butterfly, and the Butterfly is gonna take our mutations from this Taco Fern and convert it to Rainbow. Because Rainbow is such a better multiplier than gold, so this will give us some more money in the end. All right, so we're good here. These pets are good. We don't need them right now. And now that this thing is Rainbow, we can go ahead and reapply all those sprays. So we're going to go ahead and put our Pollinated back onto there. We'll put our Shocked back onto there. We also have a Burnt Spray, Honey Glazed. Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. We have Fried, and then we also have Chocolate. So there we go. We have 9 mutations applied. We still have more. Hold on. So then over here, my main account, I'm going to apply the Cloud Touch spray, and then I'm also going to apply Verdant, and I'll also apply Wet. So now we already have all these mutations from just sprays, but the reason why we did Verdant is so we can get that converted to Paradisal as soon as there's a heat wave, so that'll save us some time. And then we also got Wet, so then we can use our Kappas to convert Wet into Bloodlet, so that'll save us some time there as well. Then next up, we have to just wait for our Kitsune to cool down, and then that will apply Chakra. So this brings us up to 10 mutations. Once the Kitsune comes over, we'll have 11. And now we can start working on some of our other mutations from our pet. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 Disco Bees so we can work on getting the Disco mutation applied. I'm going to spawn in the Corrupted Kitsune so we can get Corrupt Chakra or Corrupt Foxfire Chakra. We'll also go ahead and place down 2 Kappas so we can get this thing to turn bloodlet. All right, and then I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in 2 chicken zombies to attempt to get zombified. And then so we can get one of our pets done and out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my Raiju here. Or actually, before I spawn him in, I'm going to buy a carrot seed. I'm also going to favorite this just so I don't accidentally touch that. We're going to plant the carrot seed. We're going to spray the shocked spray onto it. And then we're going to spawn in my Raiju. And my Raiju will eat the shocked carrot and then apply static to our taco fern. This will be our pet lineup for now. All right, some of our pet cooldowns are done here, so our Raiju is going to eat that shocked carrot back there now. Look at him charge it. All right, and now he's going to apply static. We got our Disco Bee doing something, and we got Disco done. That is 3 pets we can move out of the way, so our Disco Bees are done here, and our Raiju is also done. And now we do have Disco and static applied to our taco fern, which is awesome. So I think I'm going to next get out my spaghetti sloth, because this guy is pretty much guaranteed 3 mutations to get spaghetti. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn him in so we can get that done and out of the way. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in our corrupted and tranquil scarlets because we do need to get corrupt and tranquil on our taco fern. So I'm gonna spawn these guys in because they have those mutations on them, and they do have like 25-minute cooldowns. So I'm really hoping that we can get these ones done and out of the way. All right, our chicken zombie just applied zombified to our taco fern, so that is another pet done and out of the way. All right, so I guess the next pet we would spawn in is the Tanuki to try to get moonlit, but I am wanting to try and get this thing bloodlit first. The only thing is the Tanuki can't give us moonlit, which is fine. However, the Kappas, they're trying to give us bloodlit at the moment, which we need the wet mutation for, and the Tanukis can possibly make this frozen, and if it's frozen, then we can no longer get bloodlit. So we're gonna try and wait for the Kappas to do their thing, and I guess in the meantime, we will just go ahead and spawn in our pterodactyls here so we can try to get tempestuous done and out of the way. All right, I'm going to experiment and see if I give our corrupt kitsune a medium and small pet toy, if it will increase our chances of getting corrupt foxfire chakra. So let's go ahead and see. He's kind of moving. It's actually going to make the cooldown instant once I do the medium, but try to be quick. All right, see? Okay, I actually just did nothing and it made his cooldown go, but the boost didn't help us even get the regular corrupt chakra. There we go. We got chakra applied to our taco fern. That looks kind of scary. All right, spaghetti sloth, what are you going to give us first? It doesn't really matter because he's going to give us everything over time anyways. He's got to crawl his way all the way to the taco fern. Come on, you can make it. All right, meatball is number 1. So now we just need to wait for him to give us sauce and pasta. I guess to increase our chances, by the way, I do have 13 gourmet eggs, so I am going to place these down so we can maybe get more spaghetti slots. Oh, pterodactyl applied, windstruck, and first times the charm. We got tempestuous added to our taco fern, which is perfect. The rest of our pets here, we got to wait for these Kappas to give us bloodlit. Our spaghetti sloth is still being slow, of course, and then these guys need to give us corrupt and tranquil. All right, we have a sandstorm going on right now. I'm going to try and move our taco fern over here to the corner and see if maybe for the first time in our lives we can get sandy on one of these things, dude. It's been a struggle to ever get sandy. I don't know if the Grandmaster Sprinkler would help at all for trying to get the sandy mutation. I think that's, again, just for like rainbow and gold. And it looked like it got sandy for a second, but it didn't. I thought I saw an effect down here that looked like it would be sandy, but no. Our luck is terrible. I'm going to move this back over here and be sad now that we didn't get sandy. All right, so our sloth just applied pasta to our taco fern now. So now this thing has meatball and pasta. So now we just got to get him to apply sauce, and then we will have this thing turned to spaghetti. These Kappas are still struggling. Our corrupted kitsune is still struggling, and we're also still waiting for tranquil and corrupted to hopefully get applied from these 2 scarlets we have with those mutations on them. We're struggling a little bit on these mutations. I really hope that we can get some cool events to happen, like another sandstorm, so we can actually get sandy. Okay, well, with all of our efforts trying to get our taco fern to turn bloodlit from our Kappas did not give us bloodlit. And then, of course, we get a frost weather event. So now we can't get bloodlit because we can't put wet back on it since this is already frozen. But I wish there was a better way to get bloodlit besides waiting for the event and this Kappa. I guess we will spawn in then our Tanukis to try and get us moonlit since our Kappas failed us. All right, our spaghetti sloth just applied sauce to our taco fern, which means this thing is officially spaghettied. So now we have a spaghetti taco fern. So our spaghetti sloth has done his service. He is done here with his work today. We can go and pick him up. And now we just gotta wait for these tanukis to give us moonlit, and for this guy to give us corrupt, and for this guy to give us corrupt chakra. And hopefully while we wait for all this, we'll get some more events. There could possibly be a nighttime event in 3 minutes if it happens every 4 hours like it normally has. All right, I guess I got big brain power, and the only reason I know that night events happen every 4 hours is because there's a Grow Garden bot that tells you like when events and seeds and stuff are in the shop. So if you want to have access to that bot, you can join my Discord server, discord.com/invite/bandites, or just click the link in the description. That's much easier. And there's a Grow Garden channel, and you can get access to all the events and cool things. Anyways, that's how I know that usually night events happen every 4 hours, which now we have moonlit done, and we can get rid of these tanukis because they are good. They have done their job. Not really, they didn't do anything for us, but yeah. Anyways, we're gonna let our raptors level up a little bit here. I think I do have some treats for them. Yes, I do. So I'm gonna try to get these guys to level up a little bit faster, so that way we can have higher amber chances for them. All right, so I just got back after about an hour of AFKing. Let's see what has happened since we were gone. Let's go ahead and check our big taco fern here. So it looks like we did finally get corrupt added onto this thing after about an hour, so that's good. Did we get anything else to happen? It looks like we didn't get any sandy, any events. We just have moonlit. We didn't get celestial. We didn't get a heat wave. So wow, our luck was bad for events. And it also looks like we still have not gotten harmonized chakra. We still just have regular chakra. So our corrupted kitsune here is not doing very good for us, it looks like, but we can go ahead and pick up our other corrupt scarlet there. We can keep our mimic octopus and our corrupt kitsune. Okay, so our mimic octopus finally like mimicked our corrupt kitsune, even though our corrupt kitsune hasn't done anything for us. The mimic octopus actually clutched for us and got us that harmonized chakra done. So with that, we are done with all of our pet mutations. We are up to 19 mutations on our taco fern. However, if we do separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd be up to 20. Spaghetti would be up to 22. And harmonized chakra would bring us up to 24. So we do have like 24 mutations on this. The only things we're missing is celestial, aurora, sandy, and a heat wave to actually get that verdant to become paradisal. And then I guess the other last thing that we're missing is amber. And those are pretty much all the legit mutations that we could get on this. And that wouldn't include any of the admin ones, of course, but those are the few of the legit ones that we're actually missing. But besides that, this thing is pretty much good. I think I'm going to try it to see what the value is of it, and we're going to use our raptors here to hopefully get amber. So hopefully this time we'll get amber applied so we can have an extra mutation done and added onto our taco fern. So without further ado, raptors, please help. All right, let's try this out. All right, we picked it up. Did we get amber on it? I can't tell. So yeah, I guess we didn't get amber. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just check the value of our taco fern here, and hopefully it's worth a lot. I mean, this thing I feel like could have been a little bit bigger, and maybe we could have got some of the other legit mutations, and you know, not including the admin ones, to make this more. I feel like we might have gotten a pretty good one here, and it should be worth a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and check with our boy Steven here and see what this taco fern is worth. So Steven, what are we looking at today for the taco fern? Okay, so this thing is worth 46 billion. And again, it's not even that big of one. I definitely think we could have gotten a bigger one. It doesn't even look like a taco or anything at this point. We're going to go ahead and plant our maple resin seed right here next to our pancake stack. And then with that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in about, let's do 6 sugar apples there. Okay. And then real quick, we're going to spawn in my apple gazelle. And then I'm going to have my main account come over here and hit that grow all button for us. All right, perfect. So here is the maple resin, and it actually looks really, really awesome. However, we're not going to use this one that grew in here. We're actually going to grow in a bigger one in just a second. But let's go ahead and use our apple gazelle to get the warp mutation. So I'm going to pick up these. Oh, there we go. That was only 2 of them and we're done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here. So we have the warp mutation ready now. And then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these sugar apples just so they're out of the way, so there's less work for our spinos later. There we go. And we're going to go ahead real quick now and place an advanced sprinkler down right in this corner. And we're going to go ahead and spawn in our 3 mandrakes here, and they all are boosted, so that's good. We're gonna go ahead and get our mandrake seeds. I already have them right here, and some watering cans. Then we're gonna go ahead and place a couple of these down at a time. We need to get that rot mutation done though, so hopefully we get it in this set of 6. If we don't, we're gonna have to get some more real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a mandrake, which is actually this one, so perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this rotted mandrake over here to our collection, and we are good to go to start getting the other mutations done now. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these mandrakes and the apple gazelle now, and we are good with that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pick up this. Oh, there's actually more maple resin that grows in. I thought there was only the one. Okay. But we are going to pick up all these. We're going to go ahead and get our sprinklers down here. So let's go ahead and put down a, here's my Grandmaster. We're going to put down a Grandmaster sprinkler here. We'll do our Master sprinkler, the Godly. We need to get an advanced in there and a basic. And then there's also a maple sprinkler that we can get over here in the shop. That is for fall plants. I'm gonna go ahead and run over here and grab that real quick because I forgot about that. Okay, I gotta add some more Robux. Hold on. Plant, don't grow too fast. Hold on. All right, we should be good. Grab this. We gotta run back quick. Is that the right thing? Yeah, that's the right thing. All right, go. Run. All right, we got it. We're good. I'm gonna throw that in the stack. Should have had that done earlier. I'm sorry about that. But we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats now, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a triceratops to see how much growth this gives us. So we should be good. Now we should be able to get a pretty big maple resin to grow in and make some good money once we get all the mutations on it. I realized I forgot to get the Dawnbound mutation again on a plant. Now there is the new sugar glider pet that can copy mutation, and it's not like the Spinos or remove it or steal it. I'll just copy it. So I'll have to do that from now on to move the Dawnbound mutation over. So we'll plan to get that in just a bit. But anyways, let's see where our mooncats sleep. Okay, we have a couple of them getting close to our maple resin here. Hopefully a couple of them stack up in a spot. All right, well, this is a pretty good stack over here though. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there real quick. Let's let this consume all the mooncat boosts real quick. All right, that should be good. And then we're gonna go ahead and throw this back over here on our sprinklers. If it'll let me move it. There we go. Okay, that's a pretty big one there. That one looks pretty nice. Okay, we might have a winner. We'll keep trying though. We'll see what else we can get. And we'll have our triceratops hit it a couple times as well to see what we get. And perfectly, all our mooncats are sleeping right next to this. Not all of them, but you know, a good chunk of them. I'll go ahead and give our triceratops a toy as well, just to hopefully get a double hit on the maple resin to help a little bit. All right, triceratops is gonna smack it. Didn't really do much for us. All right, well, I feel like this might be a pretty big maple resin. I don't know. I think you could probably get bigger than this, but I guess we'll keep it since that one is pretty big there. And I think the value will be pretty good no matter what. So let's go ahead and favorite our maple resin then. And let's go ahead and pick up all of our pets we have currently placed down. Let's get a queen bee going here. Let's get our butterfly going. And then we're going to apply some mutations on this so we can turn it into rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the chocolate mutation, pollinated, windstruck, and then I will do a couple on my main account. Hold on, let me grab some sprays over there. All right, so on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a chilled spray since we don't really need those, and a windstruck. Oh wait, I already did windstruck. What am I doing? I'll add a cloud touch. There we go. That's better. All right, so now our maple resin does have 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow, so we'll unfavorite that, and we'll let our queen bee cool down our butterfly, convert these to rainbow, and then we'll be good to go. There's also a small one right there I'm gonna pick up. There we go. And all right, our maple resin is ready to go to become rainbow, so we'll do that once these cooldowns are completed. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a golden goose so we can get this guy's egg ready to go. And then on my main account, I'm actually going to go ahead and spawn in my kitsune and a queen bee over here as well. So that way the queen bee will cool down the kitsune, and then this guy will apply the chakra mutation to our maple resin, or at least one of our sugar apples, so we can get this thing to be chakra or foxfire chakra. And then also to save some time later, I'm going to also spawn in a raiju here. I'm going to place down a carrot seed, and then on my main account, I will apply the shock spray to the carrot. There we go. All right, so now we have the shocked mutation on our carrot, and then our raiju will in a little bit eat this carrot with the shocked on it and convert it to static and apply that to our maple resin or our sugar apples. And I know a lot of people are like, Bandites, shocked is better than static. Why do you get it? Well, you can literally have both mutations, and when you get both mutations, then you can get Maelstrom, Storm Charged. Actually, you don't get Maelstrom from that, but you do get Storm Charged, and Storm Charged is a really good multiplier, so you kind of need like both of them. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so our raiju will eat that, add some static, and we should be good. And then yeah, that should be good. If it adds it to our maple resin, that's not a big deal. I actually will probably go ahead and just add some carrot seeds right here, just so it will hit one of these carrots. That way, in case it does just go directly on the maple resin, it's fine if it goes to rainbow, because we'll have it on a carrot over here, and that way the raiju will be done and out of the way. All right, we're gonna wait for this to go to rainbow, and then we'll be back and continue getting mutations. All right, our raiju is gonna eat that shocked carrot there and then apply it. And there we go. We have a couple of static carrots, which is perfect. And we also got one of our mandrakes over here static and some sugar apples. So we are good to go. I'm going to actually go ahead and pick up these carrots then, since we don't need these ones since we have it on those fruits over there. And our Raiju is done with its job. So we can go ahead and pick up the Raiju. And then our golden goose will lay us a golden fortune egg in just a second. And then we'll use Spinos to move the fortune mutation over to our apple resin when we're ready to go with that. All right. So our queen bee is cooling down our butterfly, and our butterfly is applying rainbow to our maple resin. I think I accidentally said apple resin a second ago. Sorry about that if I did that. I don't know, bro. My brain breaks or something. But anyways, our maple resin is now rainbow, so we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, favorite the maple resin, and let's go ahead and add some sprays to this thing. So we're going to put pollinated back onto it. We're going to put, actually, we won't do windstruck. We also won't do glimmering because we have a couple of glimmering sugar apples still that we're going to save. So we're going to do pollinated. We're going to do chocolate. We're going to put down a honey sprinkler for honey glazed. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to go ahead and apply some extra sprays as well. So we have the shock spray we're going to reapply. We're going to apply the luminous spray, the cloud touch spray, and verdant. And there we go. We now are up to 8 mutations on this thing, and we're about to get plenty more. We also have my main account's Kitsune that will hopefully apply Foxfire Chakra or Chakra in just a second. All right, so here comes the Kitsune, and I just boosted the Kitsune as well, so we might be able to get Foxfire Chakra instead of regular Chakra. Let's see. Here he comes. He's coming in. All right, we just got regular Chakra, but we'll take that for now. We can probably get Foxfire later when we AFK. And it is time to get started with some of our pets. Let's go ahead and go through all the guaranteed mutation pets first. We're going to go ahead and throw a Peach Wasp in here. Let's do our Cockatrice. We'll throw in our Phoenix. This guy will give us Plasma. This guy will give us Toxic. That guy will give us the Flaming mutation, which can be converted to Blazing and Infernal. We'll go ahead and spawn in our Lemon Lion to get the Brain Rot mutation. And then we'll spawn in our Pterodactyl for the Tempestuous mutation, and our Corrupt Kitsune for the Corrupt Chakra or Corrupt Foxfire Chakra mutations. And I think that's all of our guaranteed pets that we need to do. We already did the Raiju, so we're good with him. And perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure there's no other guaranteed pets. And in the meantime, I'll go ahead and spawn in some jackalopes here so we can get the Sandy mutation done and out of the way and applied to something. And these guys are already boosted, so that's good. I'm also going to spawn in again some more carrot seeds just so our Pterodactyl and Corrupt Kitsune have an easier time applying this mutation. The more carrots we have, honestly, doesn't hurt now that the fairy event's over, because we don't get the glimmering mutation spammed. So it'll just give us more opportunities for our pets to reach different fruits and apply mutations that we need. And I'm also going to restock on some carrots just so I have a good supply. All right, so I think this is a good setup here. We do have a bunch of new pets as well. So we actually do have the new swan pet here, which I don't think he's guaranteed, but he will give us the... I forgot the mutation name, honestly. I can't lie, I just forgot it. I just had a brain fart. Let me pick up a jackalope real quick so I can check out these pets. So the swan will give us the graceful mutation. There we go. So I think this is a guaranteed mutation, actually, because every 5 minutes graces a fruit with graceful. So we'll actually keep him spawned in. And then we also have the grizzly bear, which I believe gives us the fall mutation. We have the badger, which can give us the cracked mutation from the earthquake event. And then we also have the space squirrel that can apply the void touch mutation, which is pretty cool that we can actually get void touch now without a black hole event. So we'll use him in just a little bit as well. But this is a good setup for now. We'll wait for our jackalope to give us the sandy mutation. Then we'll check through some of our other pets and get all these guaranteed pets done and out of the way. And then we can set up for a nice little AFK setup. All right, so our lemon lion is now applying brain rot, and it's applied to one of our sugar apples, which is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up, and I'm gonna spawn in another jackalope again just to help us get the sandy mutation done. And then I think we'll do like our grizzly bears, and then like our space squirrel. We'll get these guys out of the way with the disco bees and the chicken zombies so we can get all those done, and then we'll set up for an AFK grind to get those longer mutations that take a while. So we'll go ahead and do that. Our swan's about to apply the graceful mutation, and actually I didn't realize the swan is like the mimic octopus, where every like 20 minutes it tries to apply a mutation from another pet. So that'll be really useful later for when we use the Spinos. So we pretty much have an extra Spinosaurus. I'll be happy with that, so that's really nice. I'm gonna boost this jackalope just to try and help us give a better chance for Sandy to get done out of the way. Okay, that still is failing, but It'll be done eventually, okay?
You sure about that?
Our cockatrice will also give us toxic in just a second, and then we're about to get our swan done and out of the way. So let's see. Our swan's going to apply graceful to something. Okay, we got graceful on the maple resin. I don't know if it was this direct one. I think it's this one that's glowing right there, so we'll get that moved over later. But our swan's job is done for now. We can use it later as a mimic octopus, but for now we are good. So let's go ahead and pick up our swan, and let's see, is that going to apply sandy? All right, perfect. We got sandy added to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done as well. We can go ahead and move this sandy carrot over to our little collection for our spinos. You know, we can't really have silver, but I'll just throw it in there. Just why not? You know, what if the game bugs and gives us silver with rainbow or something? That'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome, dude. That'd be so awesome and cool. You would too. All right, anyways, our cockatrice is going to give us the toxic mutation now, and our pterodactyl will hopefully give us tempestuous in the next minute here. So we'll let those play out. But let me see. I think the space squirrel might be a guaranteed void touch mutation. Let me just double check. Okay, no, it only has a 15% chance. So this guy, we might want to wait for our AFK grind and swap him in with one of our pets later. What about our badger here? I do have a giant badger. So every 2 minutes, he has a chance to apply the crack mutation. So I guess we'll try and do that. Okay, perfect. So we have toxic added to a couple of our carrots. Here's one of them. I'll go ahead and move this guy over. And I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in another badger. Since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, we'll use these guys to attempt to get the cracked mutation. I'm also going to boost them to give them a little bit of a better... I did not mean to boost that. Oh, wait, no, I did boost the badger. I thought I boosted the Krupkadzun. But there we go. That'll give them a little bit of a faster mutation and hopefully a good enough boost to give us a better cracked mutation chance. All right, so work on trying to get cracked. Our pterodactyl is going to apply tempestuous. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, we did not get tempestuous, so we have to actually wait another 8 minutes for the pterodactyl. Bro, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? We're supposed to swap you out for another pet, but you know what? That's fine. All right, so I guess since that failed, I'm going to go ahead and use our grizzly bears next then to give us the fall mutation, since that's a new one, and we got to get that done and out of the way. And these guys have another pretty short cooldown of about only 4 minutes, and they have a 10% chance. They also make you a little bit of a bigger player model. That's interesting. So I guess I'm a little bit of a bigger boy now. Oh, did you apply? Oh, they actually applied it really quickly. I thought it was gonna be much smaller of a chance there, but we got cracked on a lot of carrots. Okay, I guess it's like a 10% chance for each carrot, so that's actually crazy, and it lasts a very long time. So, and it might be because this one's giant, that helps as well. All right, well, we do have the cracked mutation now, which is perfect. The first time I think I've actually gotten the cracked mutation, so we're good with that. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this cracked carrot over here. Thank you, badgers, for your help, and let's go ahead and get the disco bees ready then. But yeah, that was pretty quick and easy. So if the grizzly bears are like that as well, we should be able to get the fall mutation done. Let's actually see real quick. Fall mutation. Oh, okay. Well, that was actually quick as well. I thought his mutation chance would be a lot less, but we did get the fall mutation done and out of the way real quick with the grizzly bears, so that's perfect. We can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees then to get disco done, and then we'll work on the chicken zombies after that and get ready for our AFK setup. So perfect. These guys actually went pretty quick for us today, which helps me out a lot. So we're gonna have some great mutations today, dude. This is gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a lot of them. All right, so our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a ton of our plants here. So we now have flaming on a bunch of stuff, including our golden egg. So that's interesting, but I'm gonna go ahead and I guess I'll leave the golden egg since we got to get mutations off of it anyways. And I'm gonna get some of these extra carrots out of the way that have other mutations on them as well, and we're good. All right, so thank you, Phoenix, for your service. And with that, we can go ahead and start spawning in some of our chicken zombies here to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way, and then we can add more once our other pets finish here. Our pterodactyl is next with our Krupkadzun, so we should be able to get tempestuous and Krup chakra, maybe foxfire Krup chakra. That'd be nice. Wow. Okay, well, we got Krup chakra done, but we're still not getting tempestuous done. Usually our pterodactyl is done by now. It's actually taking a while today, but we can go and pick up our Krupkadzun then. And we got Krup chakra on a lot of stuff, actually. I think some of these sugar apples got it. Yep. So we're good there. We can go ahead and I guess go ahead and just pick up these carrots that had it then. All right, well, our Krupkadzun is out of the way, so we're gonna just wait for the pterodactyl to finish then, since he's having a hard time. We're gonna go ahead and boost our peach wasp as well to get that plasma mutation done. That'll also give a boost to one of our other pets. And then we're gonna go ahead and actually boost our disco beast for hopefully a chance to get disco done and out of the way so we can get more chicken zombies in here. I will spawn in 1 more chicken zombie for now, and let's see if we get disco. Maybe disco, buddy, please. All right, failed. expected. All right, so if we get disco done, we're gonna get plasma done now. He's flying to the heavens. Oh, he's so beautiful, dude, with this PNG animation. And we have plasma done on a sugar apple. Thank you so much, Peach Wasp, for your service. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie to replace him. Hopefully we can get zombified done, and hopefully we can get plasma done. Let's see if we get plasma done. Or not plasma, disco. We just got plasma done. Disco, buddy, come on, you got this. Okay, you don't got this. You're a failure. You're a failure in life, just like me. Just like me, buddy. I understand. All right, biscuit. C. Failed. Failed. Okay, well, these guys just hurt me. They just hurt me. That's all they do. They just hurt me. All right, please give us tempestuous this time, buddy. All right, finally, we got tempestuous added to a carrot. Which one did you help us on? Was it one of these ones? All right, perfect. We got tempestuous on the carrot that has toxic on it, so that works. We go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl finally. We're gonna replace him with an extra chicken zombie, and then we're gonna work to try and get disco done, and then we'll focus on zombified so we can get ready for our AFK setup. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost some of my chicken zombies because they're almost done here, like Shano and UC. So let's see if we can get zombified done on something. Failed. All right, where's UC? I need you to be UC full.
What?
I'm so funny. I have no friends. I'm sorry. All right, they both failed, so he's not UC full. He's UC-less. And I'm gonna go ahead and boost my disco bees again, and well, maybe, just maybe this time they'll like me enough. Where's my last one? Here he is. All right, come on. Come on, disco. 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 Bro, failed again? Bro, why do these disco bees hate me? Is it because of my dad jokes? Wait, where's Katie? I can boost Katie and maybe get zombified. Please. Please zombified, please. Failed? Bruh. Why everyone's failing me? All right, well, maybe my disco bees here will have a chance. We got 3 of them. Let's just wait a minute here and see if any of them give us disco. If they give us disco, that'd be wonderful because all my chicken zombies just failed and all my disco bees are failing. So please, someone, please. Biscuit or GG, one of you guys, come on. All right, failed. All right, it's up to GG and Biscuit. If they fail again, bro, I'm actually gonna be so sad. Come on, guys, you could do this. You could do this. You could do this. Disco mutation. Disco mutation. Failed. Come on, please, please, please. Let's go. We finally got disco. All right, disco is applied to a carrot, bro. I was losing hope there. I was gonna cry and then cry myself to sleep, but we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and gift myself some more toys here so we can boost our chicken zombies and hopefully get them done and out of the way. I'm just glad, though, that we finally got disco done. At least something. That's all we needed, was at least something, man. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie here and a mimic octopus just to help in case. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my Spriggan because this guy might be able to give us the blue mutation. He has a better chance than some of the other guys I have. And if we get bloom done, then we have more opportunity to use some of our other pets when we go AFK. All right, so a lot of my chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldowns. I'm gonna go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the mutation done finally, the zombified mutations. So let's go ahead and boost them one at a time and see what we get. So where's Shano here? Hello? There you are. All right, let's see if we get zombified, please. Failed. All right, let's go down to UC. UC, come on. Clutch up for us, please. Failed. Okay. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. All right, Katie, come on, please. Katie, come on, Katie.
Nope.
Failed again, bro. All right, what about Bella and Mimi? Come on. All right, that one's almost done. Where's Bella? Bella, come here. Come on. One of you guys apply the zombified mutation, please. I'm gonna go ahead and use my mimic octopus as well here to maybe try and get it done. Let's see. Or one of my mutations done. Let's see what it mimics.
Bruh.
Okay, it failed again, bro. All right, I'm gonna boost my gnome. Can we at least get like gnome done, maybe? All right, we got gnome done on a carrot. That actually works out perfect for us because that will save us some time later when we do our AFK setup. So that works. We got gnomed on this carrot. I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here. All right, gnome, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and boost the Spriggan as well here. Let's see if we can get bloom done. Come on, buddy. Here's a bunch of carrots for you, dude. Hey, don't go too far. Okay, our other chicken zombie failed. Spriggan, don't go too far. Apply bloom to something here, please. Okay, we got bloom on 10 of these things, dude. That was actually really easy. Okay. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and move the bloomed carrot over here. And now bloom is done and out of the way. So you did good. You and the gnome did good. We got 2 of our AFK mutations done, but we're still working on these chicken zombies. So I guess we'll go ahead and bring in the Kappas next, since we usually get bloodlet pretty quickly from these guys with the carrots spread out like this. So we'll do that. And then hopefully we can get zombified done. All right, so I just had my Kappa go a little crazy and apply wet to a bunch of these carrots, but apparently one of them just got bloodlet, which is this one, which also has bloom on it, which is perfect for us, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here, and we can actually go ahead and get rid of this carrot with bloom, since this one has bloodlet and bloom, to save some time. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up, well, I guess I'll move one of these frozen ones over here just in case, and that should be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rest of these carrots with these extra mutations on them, and we can go ahead and also pick up our kappa, since they're good to go and they are done. And we still just gotta wait for these chicken zombies. And then I guess I'll go ahead and place a couple more carrots just to help with the zombies, so they have a little bit more reach. And we have 2 more pet slots we can go ahead and use. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in the new space squirrel to see if we can get the space squirrel's mutation done and out of the way. And I'll also go ahead and spawn in the griffin, since it does help with cooldowns. So if the zombies still take forever, we can get some cooldowns done while we wait. Now, the space squirrel only has a 15% chance for the void touch mutation, but I will boost it. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. And then the griffin, of course, has a 10% chance. So these aren't the best pets, but these are our AFK pets, and we're just kind of getting them done earlier, trying to save some more time in the long run. So we'll see what happens with these guys, but yeah, hopefully we can get the zombified mutation out of the way. All right, so we are still struggling to get the zombified mutation, but as soon as we get it, we can literally go AFK and wait for the rest of the mutations to get applied to what we need. So hopefully Mimi or Bella here comes in clutch and gives us the zombified mutation once and for all. Otherwise, hopefully we can maybe get the void touch mutation or cyclonic out of the way, and then our AFK grind will really be easy when we go AFK. We do have a nighttime event that just spawned in here, so this will make it easy to, there we go, get the moonlit mutation done. And then we'll also keep an eye out for the celestial event to maybe get celestial mutation. Look at that, we finally got the zombified mutation applied to a sugar apple. It did take some time, but we're finally there, and now we're ready to go on our AFK grind. So there we go. So we're finally done with our chicken zombies. We can go ahead and pick these guys up and prepare for our AFK grind now. We are good to go with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a lobster so we can work on getting molten or meteoric while we're gone in AFK. We'll get the corrupt scarlet out for the corrupt mutation, the tranquil scarlet out for the tranquil mutation, and we'll get the junk bot out for the oil mutation. And then we also have one more slot here. I know we're missing a pet. Oh, the spaghetti sloth. Sorry. Big sneeze there. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my spaghetti sloth so we can get the aromatic mutation from Miss Shard. We can go ahead and get sauce, pasta, and meatball. And when we get all those 3 done, we'll get the spaghetti mutation. And now we should be good for our AFK grind. We do have a mimic octopus. I think we could probably swap him out for something else. Let me see. I can probably swap him for a queen bee for now to save some time on cooldowns. And then before we go AFK, I'm gonna go ahead and give a toy to my space squirrel and my griffin so we can see if we get cyclonic or void touch done, because that would help us a lot as well. All right, it looks like we did not get cyclonic, but that's fine. Let's just real quick see if we can get void touch done. And if we don't, that's fine. We're just gonna AFK, and then we'll come back and get our spinos in here to move stuff over when we're back. All right. Void touch failed, kind of figured, because it's a really low chance, but we'll go AFK and let these pets do their thing, and then we'll throw in some spinos as they finish their mutations, and then we'll probably have to go ahead and also throw in our ascended mooncat as they finish mutations so we can get dawnbound done again. All right, so checking after a quick AFK break here to see what progress we have gotten. It looks like we did get a molten carrot here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that into our spino platter over here. And it also looks like we actually got a few aromatic carrots. There's one here, and then I believe there's one right here. Yep, and this one also has molten on it, which is interesting. So I think I'm going to take this aromatic and molten one and put it there, and then get rid of this chilled and molten one just so there's less to worry about for our spinos. But we did get cyclonic done, so I'm going to go ahead and move that over, and that is out of the way. So we can go ahead and pick up our griffin, which is nice. We did get a sauce one, so I can go ahead and move this to the platter over here. We did get a pasta one, which is nice. Oh, and it looks like we just got meteoric down on a sugar apple, so we're actually good with our lobster as well. Perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the lobster then. So our sloth is actually done. We got aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here so we can go ahead and pick up our spaghetti sloth. He is done, which is perfect. Let's see. So our junk bot, I saw an oil carrot over here somewhere, right here. So our junk bot is also done. Oil is done. We can go and pick up our junk bot. Okay, corrupt just failed. I guess with that, we can try and boost our tranquil. I don't know if we have tranquil. I haven't seen it yet. So let me go and grab a toy. Let's boost our tranquil scarlet. Just see if that helps at all. Okay, failed. All right, well, that's fine. So yeah, it looks like we still need to get Tranquil, we still need to get Corrupt, but all of our other pets are done, which is fantastic. And since we got pretty much all of our other pets done, we have 4 slots here. This is a good time to spawn in our Mega Spinosauruses and our regular Spinosauruses to start moving over all of the mutations to our maple resin, and then we should be good to go. And I guess we can also go ahead and spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to try and get Dawnbound done once we have Tranquil or Corrupt done. Or actually, you know, because these guys take a while and their cooldowns are bugged anyways, I guess I might as well remove the Queen Bee and then spawn in this guy so we can start getting Dawnbound done. Now, I know people might be like, oh, you can use the Queen Bee to get the Dawnbound mutation from your mutated Mooncat. Well, actually, you can't. I've already tested it, and the Queen Bee does not cool down the Dawnbound mutation, which is unfortunate, but this will at least add it in, and then we can try and get it within 6 hours, which will be like almost midnight, but you know, we'll go for it, I guess. Oh, actually, before I go AFK, our space squirrel just added Void Touch to our maple resin. Oh, and it looks like we actually do have a Tranquil in here. I didn't even realize this. It's right here. Okay, well, we're actually done then with Tranquil, and we're done with our Space Squirrel because we just got Void Touch. It's in these maple resins that are kind of like hidden in here, so I can't really see them. All right, so our main one doesn't have it, but it's favorited, so our Spinos will move it. But yeah, we have a Tranquil one there, and we also have a Void Touch one now somewhere in there. So we're good. Those are actually done. Those are 2 more mutations done and out of the way. So I guess with that then, we will go ahead and spawn back in a Mimic Octopus to help with the Spinos, and we will also spawn in a Queen Bee again to help with getting those cooldowns done. And that should be good. Now we're actually perfectly ready for our AFK grind. So let's do this. We just got to get Corrupt and Dawnbound while we AFK. All right, so it's been like 5 or 6 hours since I went AFK. And here is our maple resin after we had all of the mutations moved over and applied to it now. And so if we actually take a look here, we have a total of 37 mutations. Now they did change the way that the Storm Charge mutation works. It used to be Maelstrom mixed with Static and Shocked, but now it's only Static and Shocked mixed with Tempestuous, I believe. And since we have Tempestuous under that, we can't get Tempestuous again on this Windstruck to actually give us the Maelstrom mutation and have both of them anymore. Used to be able to get both. I don't know why they changed it. Maybe there's a different combo to do that. And then also we did not get Ceramic. We were unable to because we got Infernal done first, but that is fine. We did get Dawnbound added on here though, and everything else that we needed. So again, 37 mutations. And if we split the Spaghetti mutation, that is 39 mutations. If we split the Abyssal mutation, which we finally got this one, that bring us to 40 mutations. Harmonized Chakra 41, Gloom 42, Paradisal 43, Storm Charged would be 45. And we didn't get Maelstrom, but if we had Maelstrom, it'd be 46 technically, but we're at 45. So with Infernal, we're about at 48 mutations. So almost 50 mutations. This thing is going to be worth a lot of money, I believe. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and check the value of it one time with the magnifying glass, and then we'll see if we can get Amber on it, and then check the value of it again. So let's go ahead and use our magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, so here's our maple resin. We're at 2.9 trillion for this thing. Now, honestly, we could have had some other plants in the past more expensive than this. I think the last video I had like a 1 trillion something plant. A couple videos ago, we had a 1 trillion, but a while back we had one that was 1 trillion. It said it was maxed at 1 trillion. However, Steven won't give you the full value once it's 1 trillion, is what you guys told me in the comments. So I don't know if that one fruit a couple weeks back was more than 1 trillion and maybe closer to this value, but this is 2.9 trillion, which is a lot of money for this maple resin. Now we're going to try and add one more mutation onto it to see if we can maybe get it into that 3 trillion mark. So what we're going to go ahead and do is spawn in some raptors here, and we're going to test our luck with picking it up to see if we get Amber added onto it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, so we did not get Amber added onto this thing, but our maple resin here is in the 2.9 trillion mark, and it is a lot of money. Anyways, you might notice that my queen bee's already going, and my butterfly, and we just got the chakra mutation applied to a beanstalk, and we have a golden egg with fortune already spawned in. And that's because I started recording this video and then I accidentally picked up my orange tulip right before it got rainbow. So I'm kind of just restarting, but we have a couple of the things done already. So yeah, we have a fortune egg, we have a chakra beanstalk, and we have our queen bee and butterfly on their cooldowns already. But we're gonna go ahead and take it from the top though from there, and we're gonna start by spawning in some mooncats. I would use the green bean pet this time around, but the tulips grow so fast that I don't think it's worth it. So our plan of action is just to spawn in some mooncats, let them group up, and wherever the biggest group of mooncats is, we're going to go ahead and throw down all of our sprinklers in there, and then we are going to spam some tulips and see if we get a pretty big tulip to grow in. Now, I don't know the huge chance for the tulips. I expect it to be very tiny, but hopefully we can at least get a decent sized one. All right, so once our mooncats group up here and sleep, we're going to plant some tulips, and then we will get some mutation sprays on there so we can get ready to get the rainbow mutation. We still have about 15 minutes. I would have already been past all of this, but I teleported, I hit the garden button. Right when I did, I accidentally pressed E. I don't know why, because I'm stupid. Don't mind me. Anyways, we got a bunch of mooncats right here, so I think right here is our spot. I'm gonna go ahead and place down our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and a Flower Froster Sprinkler. And we're gonna go ahead and plant some tulips to see if we can get a big tulip to grow in. Bro, we got all the tiniest tulips ever. That was stupid. That was dumb. Is there any more in the shop? No. Bruh, that was ridiculous. All right, hold on. Let me gift myself some more on my main account, I guess, because that did not really work for us, did it? All right, well, I'm going to just try and place some around here again. I'll put one here, one over here. Let's do a couple in this group of mooncats. See if we get a big one. No. Of course, the one big one I had is when I decided to accidentally pick it up because I'm very stupid and dumb, bro. And then this doesn't restock ever. I'm going to keep gifting myself. I hope we can get a big one before our butterfly is done. I got to gift myself some more sprinklers, too. This just ruined my day. I should have never picked up that original one I had. All right, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, since this guy is going to cool down our butterfly anyways, I'm going to pick up our butterfly real quick, spawn in an extra mooncat, see if these guys will group up together. I'm going to try and stock myself up to about 20 orange tulips again, and then we'll go from there, and hopefully we get a decent sized one. I'm going to just keep gifting myself in the meantime, and then we'll get our butterfly back in, and then we should be good to get rainbow. I got to just be a little bit quick, but I think we can do it. I think we'll be fine. We'll recover from our mistakes in life. All right. It looks like we have a couple of them grouping up right here. Oh, it's only like 2 of them. Dang. It's not a good... all right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm throwing all my sprinklers down, and I'm gonna throw some tulips down. Give us a big one, please. Bro, nothing? Actually, nothing out of all those? What? This is insane, bro. I had one grow in the first try when I did this, and now nothing. Literally nothing. I guess we'll go with this one. It's not that great, but it could just be visually not big. You know, maybe it's as big as a tulip wants to grow, you know? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these other tulips then. Well, that's gonna be our tulip then. It's a little weak compared to what we used to have in life, but you know what? Sometimes we can't look back. We gotta just keep looking forward, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here. Let's go ahead and respawn our butterfly, and let's go ahead and get our sprays back put onto this. So it does have frozen, and it does have silver. Oh, actually, it doesn't have silver on it, but it does have frozen, so that's one mutation on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on it. Shocked, chocolate. We'll do I'll save that chilled actually, and then we'll do our honey sprinkler. There we go. That's 5 mutations, and then we can go ahead and give a toy to our queen bee here, who will now cool down our butterfly, and our butterfly will convert this little tulip here to rainbow. Oh, it's favorited. It's favorited. It's
No! God, please, no! No!
Please still do it. Please still do it, butterfly. Bro. Nothing is going good today for me. I pick it up. I have the tulip favorited. I pick up the first tulip. I lose it. The second tulip is favorited. And I gotta wait another 15 minutes to get rainbow. I'm really sad right now. I'm really, really sad. So this time for real, the queen bee is now going to cool down our butterfly and take these 5 mutations on our orange tulip and convert them to rainbow. I'm going to stand back, make sure I don't press my E key again. And there we go. The butterfly is doing its thing, and it's applying rainbow to our tulip. And there we go. Our orange tulip is now rainbow. So I can pick these guys up. We can favorite the tulip, and we are good to go. We are finally on our way to getting mutations done on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and get some sprays done. Let's go ahead and get shock done. Let's get chocolate done and pollinated. We're going to go ahead and apply the honey glaze sprinkler as well, so we can get honey glaze put back onto there. And then on our main account, we're going to go ahead and spray the verdant spray onto it, and we're going to go ahead and spray the cloud touch spray onto it. And our main account already applied chakra to one of our beanstalks. I think actually 2 of our beanstalks, but we have chakra ready, so we are good with the kitsu, and we're going to go ahead and leave on our main account. So now we are good to go. We have these mutations done on here, about 7 of them. We're not going to do burnt or fried because we are going to get ceramic, so that will go away. And then we don't have bloom currently. We don't have the spray for that, but we're going to get bloom done shortly with our Spriggan. But we are set up for now. Let's go ahead and start going down the list of our pets here. So first, we're going to start with the pterodactyl. That is not a pterodactyl, but I guess we can spawn in our Krupp Kidzoon because he was going to be next. So we're going to do the Krupp Kidzoon. We're going to spawn in pterodactyls. We get tempestuous Krupp Kidzoon, so we can get Krupp chakra. We're going to go ahead and spawn in our peach wasps so we can get the plasma mutation done. And we're going to also spawn in our lemon lion so we can get the brain rot mutation done. These are all guaranteed mutations, so that will be pretty easy. And with that, we're going to go ahead and spawn in 4 disco bees so we can go ahead and get disco out of the way. Actually, hold on. Before we do the 4 disco bees, let's go ahead and pick these guys up. And let's actually get the sandy mutation done before we do that, because we have 3 jackalopes, and this one is usually pretty quick since they have really fast cooldowns. And this should be good. We'll get pretty much all of our guaranteed mutations done, and just like we've been doing, we'll get these ones out of the way, and then we'll do our mutations that usually take a while, and we'll AFK those ones for a bit. But this is a pretty good setup. We do have an extra pet slot, so let's see. Is there any other pets that'll give us a guaranteed mutation? We already did the golden goose. We could do the Raiju. Let's get the Raiju going, actually. I almost forgot about this little guy here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shocked spray. Oh, now there's a bunch of orange tulips in stock. I'm gonna stock up on those just in case anything happens again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a carrot seed down here. We're gonna put this like right here. Shock spray. Boom on the carrot. So the Raiju will eat this, apply static, and that'll be another guaranteed mutation done and out of the way. And hopefully these jackalopes don't apply sandy to it, but if they do, we'll just move that back over. Oh, of course, dude. Of course. I knew he was going to apply sandy to this carrot. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and favorite this one for now. Let's go ahead and put a different carrot down, and then we'll put the shock spray on this one, because of course the jackalope's like, oh, this one you're gonna eat. I put on that one. All right, there we go. That one's favorited now, so he won't touch that, and he'll only eat that one. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and pick up these jackalopes. They are done. They can stop squeaking in my ears now, and let's go ahead and move on and get the disco bees going now. Anyways, let's go ahead and wait a little bit, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, our lemon lion is now going to apply the brain rot mutation to something. Hopefully, it doesn't do it to this carrot, bro. Please don't do it to that carrot. That'd be so goofy and goofed. Actually, I mean, not that carrot. I meant this one. But anyways, he's good. The brain rot lemon lion is done. We can go ahead and pick him up. And let's see. So our pterodactyl will be done in the next 2 minutes. We get tempestuous done. And also our Raiju should be done in a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and just boost the Raiju to speed it up a little bit so we can get that static one out of the way and get another pet in here. And cool. And then our disco bees still have a couple minutes here. I'm going to boost them just a little bit. But I guess in the meantime, I did get some pets ready in my hotbar here that we could use to try and get some quick ones done. But I'm going to see, is there any other ones we can get done that are a little bit faster? Let's do the spaghetti sloth because he does take a while. Actually, you know what? Before I get this spaghetti sloth going, I'm going to actually swap him out for another disco bee for now. And that way we can get a little bit more of a chance to get disco done. And then we will swap all these guys out for the chicken zombie so we get zombified done. And then we'll start with those guys. That way we can save a little bit more time again. So our pterodactyl's about done. I guess it's a good time to boost these disco bees so they can get ready. Let's see. The only one that doesn't need a boost right now is Biscuit, so we can boost all the other ones. So that's Biscuit there. I'm going to boost you, Zeffy. I'm going to boost Zaza and Jaja or Jaya. There we go. These guys are all boosted under 4 minutes now. All right. Give us Tempestuous. Get that one done and out of the way. So let's see. Tempestuous, please. Bro, what? Bro, what? He didn't do it again. You're goofing off. Why are you goofing off right now? All right. Well, that's fine. Our Raiju will come in clutch. I mean, he's guaranteed, so we'll get that one done. Also, I'm going to go ahead and trowel this golden egg over here by our beanstalks, and then I'm also going to trowel this sandy carrot over here, and we're going to set up a little buffet platter for our Spinosauruses to eat and apply to Tulip when they're ready. All right, Raiju is good to go. He's going to go eat that carrot now and apply static to a bunch of stuff. All right, we got static on some beanstalks. That works. And I also got on our golden egg and our carrot over there. Okay, thanks, man. Thanks for all your static. All right, you're good to go. You're out of the way now. Now we can go ahead and get that spaghetti sloth going to get aromatic pasta sauce and meatball. But we are doing good. We've made some good progress, and this orange tulip is going to look beautiful with all the mutations done shortly. All right, let's see if our first disco bee gives us disco, gets it done and out of the way. That'd be nice, right? That'd be nice. Oh, look at that. First one. Beanstalk is applied. Bro, what am I saying? I can't speak. Anyways, our disco bee applied disco to this beanstalk, so disco is out of the way. Our Spinos will take care of that and move it to our orange tulip. So I'm gonna go ahead and move all these guys. Kind of wasted the rest of their boosts, but that's fine. They're fine. But anyways, I'm gonna replace those disco bees now with the chicken zombies. These guys have even a higher chance than the disco bees to give us zombified. So once these guys are done, we'll get zombified applied and we'll be going. We'll be good. And then we can get ready for our ultimate AFK extravaganza fun AFK grind AFK. All right, so our corrupt kitsune here is about to give us corrupt chakra. I'm also going to spawn in some more carrot seeds from our pterodactyl because I think a lot of stuff has windstruck on it now. There we go. All right, so... All right, we got corrupt chakra on everything, and we even got it on our orange tulip directly, so that helps us out there. So our corrupt kitsune is done. Let's go ahead and get this pterodactyl to hopefully give us tempestuous now. Seems to be easier to get it on a carrot than it is the beanstalk, so let's see. Okay, we got it on a carrot and we got it on a beanstalk, so that works. I guess I'll go ahead and pick up these carrots then, since we got corrupt chakra on that, and then we got tempestuous on one of these beanstalks. Perfect. So pterodactyl is done as well, and our corrupt kitsune is done, and then our peach wasp is about to apply the plasma mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap out that pterodactyl and that corrupt kitsune for my tranquil scarlet and my corrupt scarlet, so we can get the tranquil and corrupt mutations ready. So now our peach wasp should go ahead and apply the plasma mutation to something for us. He's going up there. Look at him go. He looks beautiful. He's going to heaven now. He's stuck. Okay, there we go. We got plasma done on a beanstalk. So perfect. That is good to go. Thank you, peach wasp, for your help with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up. And you know what? I'm actually gonna wait for a second to do the tranquil and scarlet macaw. Wait, sorry. What am I saying, bro? I'm gonna wait a second to do the tranquil and the corrupt scarlets. Actually, I know I just placed them down, but I'm going to pick them up for a second because what I'm gonna go ahead and do to get out of the way and get this done is I'm going to go ahead and spawn in an advanced sprinkler right here, and then we're going to spawn in our mandrakes. We have 3 of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and place some mandrakes here. We're going to try to get the rot mutation done, and let's go ahead and try and get the rot mutation done and out of the way, and then we're also going to try and get the warp mutation done out of the way with the apple gazelle. So all right, give me rot. Give me rot. I thought that was rot for a second. Give me rot. There's no rot. All right, come on. Give me rot. Come on. I need to get some more mandrake seeds, dude. These things go fast when you're trying to get rot mutation. Still nothing? Come on. All right, I'm gonna have to boost these guys again. Oh, no, we don't, because we got rot applied to a beanstalk. All right, perfect. So one of these beanstalks are now rotting. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these mandrakes here. All right, so rot is done. Now we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some sugar apples here. Let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in an apple gazelle pet here. So we get warp done, and then all I'm gonna do to speed this up is grow all with my main account. All right, there we go. Hey, where's my apples? All right, let me do it one more time so all the apples actually... Oh, there they go. I thought it was just lagging. All right, so apple gazelles here. Let's see if we get warped. I'm gonna carefully pick these up. All right, there we go. Warped has spread to a sugar apple, so we are good. Now we can go ahead and travel this over here since that's done, so we can get our tempestuous sandy static moved over with that warped apple and our fortune, and we can go ahead and reclaim the rest of these. All right, so now that those guys are done and out of the way, now we can go ahead and pick this guy up, and we can go ahead and our spaghetti sloth is also going to... Bro, this guy loves carrots. You look at all these awesome plants. He's like, oh, the carrot is so yummy. I love carrots, man. I just love carrots. But anyways, that's fine. He is going to give us meatballs, so now we just need sauce, pasta, and aromatic from him. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and respawn our tranquil scarlet here, our corrupt scarlet as well, and then I guess since we have another slot, we can go ahead and get our junk bot started. Should be good. I feel like I'm missing someone though. I might be missing one pet, but I'll go through and take a look while I wait for these chicken zombies to be ready. All right, so the one pet I was forgetting about was the Spriggan, and then I guess also the Kappa, because this guy eventually can give us bloodlet if we AFK for a bit with some carrots. That's that, but once these chicken zombies are done, we're going to focus on the Griffin, Gnome, Lobster, and Spriggan. AFK with those guys, and hopefully we get those done while I'm gone. And then when we come back, we could do our Spinos with some Kappas, and that way we can end it off and get everything to the orange tulip. And look at that, the first chicken zombie applied zombified to beanstalk, so we're actually done. I mean, that was pretty easy. It is a 20% chance with the boost. So I go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies now, and we can get ready for our first AFK session, I guess, if you want to call it that. Sure. So let's go ahead and get our Griffin. This guy will give us Cyclonic, and then that'll mix with Tempestuous to give us Maelstrom. So there we go. We're also going to spawn in this Gnome to give us the Gnomed mutation. We'll spawn in one Lobster for now to try and give us Molten and Meteoric, and then we're also going to spawn in our Spriggan to attempt to give us the Blue mutation. And then when we're back, we can go ahead and add in another Lobster, and then we can add in our 2 Kappas to try and give us the Bloodlet mutation, and then increase our chances with Meteoric and Molten if our other Lobster has a hard time applying those. And then we'll also get some Spinos in there to start moving everything over that we have, and then throwing it onto this orange tulip, and then we should be set. So, oh, look at that. We also just got Acid Rain, so we'll see if we get acidic. That'll be another mutation we can get added on, which would be nice. This one is a little bit difficult to get on something, but we'll see if this weather applies it to one of our carrots or one of our beanstalks, or even the orange tulip directly would be nice. But I'll take a look in just a second, but we're gonna get ready to AFK, and I will come back and see if we got acidic on anything, and we should be good. But yeah, hopefully we can also get maybe like an Aurora event. And okay, our tanning mirror is actually good, so we'll be able to get Paradisal done, and then we have our Star Crawler in range. We do have a nighttime event starting in about 40 minutes, so while I'm AFK, that will apply Moonlit to something, and maybe we'll get Celestial done as well. But we're gonna go ahead and AFK now, and we'll be back in just a bit, and hopefully we can get like the junk bot done, or one of these guys done while we're AFK for a couple minutes, so then we can come back and throw in another lobster or a Kappa, so we can try and get Bloodlet done. A Kappa would be preferable right now, but that should help. I will be right back, and yeah, enjoy a time lapse. All right, so I was just AFK for like 2 hours while I took my cat to the vet and let these mutations get on stuff. So let's go ahead and do a quick check and see what we got in here. All right, so first off, I noticed on our orange tulip, we did get cyclonic on it, which is nice. We also got pasta done, and we already had meatball, so that's another one done. We also have cyclonic on this one and bloom. Since we have so many cyclonics done, I can go ahead and pick up our griffin. He is done. We don't need him anymore. And then we can go ahead and also pick up our spriggan because we have bloom, and that's done and out of the way. But let's go ahead and check our spaghetti sloth mutations as well here. So I know we had meatball done, but we had sauce. Okay, and then I think, didn't we have pasta done over here? Yeah, pasta and then meatball and sauce. So spaghetti is pretty much done. It just needs to be moved over, but we'll have to see if any of these plants had aromatic added on to any of them here. So let's go ahead and look up here. Lots of moonlit, and we got oil done. So junkbot seems to be done with his mutation, which is perfect. So we can go ahead and pick up the junkbot there. I'm not seeing any aromatic, corrupt, or tranquil. So it's usually the mutation shard ones that take forever anyways, but it looks like they're going to take forever again. And I'm also not seeing gnomed anywhere. So yeah, it looks like we still need a couple of these mutations to get done. Oh, and we also did not get molten or meteor. We didn't get either of them. So to help out our lobster, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another lobster. And I guess I thought I spawned in a kappa, but I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and get a kappa in here to try and help us get the bloodlet mutation done while we AFK some more. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my mega spinosaurus here. Let's go ahead and do the, there we go. Yeah, this one's almost age 100. So he can actually eat 7.8 fruits or 7.8 mutations at a time and apply them, so he will get a lot of these moving along and dented. So made some good progress, but we're not done yet. We still need to get bloodlet, meteoric, molten, gnomed, corrupt, and tranquil. So we still have, oh, and aromatic. So we still have quite a lot of mutations to get. We only seem to get 2 of them done while we're AFK, but that's fine. We're gonna AFK a little bit longer, and hopefully we get the other ones done. All right, so just a quick break from being AFK, but we just literally got meteoric applied to one of our beanstalks here. So, oh, and it looks like we got gnome done as well. So we have meteoric and we have gnomed on this beanstalk, and we also have gotten bloodlet on the tulip directly, and we also have gotten bloodlet on a bunch of these carrots. So we are good with bloodlet. We can go ahead and pick up this kappa, and we can go ahead and pick up the gnome because we got gnomed. And then let's see what else we have gotten. Did we get tranquil or corrupt? Oh, and we got molten up here on this one. Okay, so that means our lobsters are done. We can go ahead and pick up these lobsters here, which is perfect. And it just looks like we still need aromatic and tranquil and corrupt, but I'm just taking a double look through all of this just to make sure we did not get tranquil or corrupt. I would probably see the effects, and I don't see them anywhere. But besides that, all of our other pets seem to be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in the rest of my spinos here so they can just start whipping through and getting all of these mutations moved over to our tulip. And while we AFK, this will finish up, and then we should get tranquil and corrupt added to it. And this should be the last time we need to AFK, and then we should have everything moved over and applied to our orange tulip to have the ultimate orange tulip and grow a garden. So we're gonna go ahead and AFK with these guys and get everything moved over, get that tranquil, corrupt, and aromatic done, and then we should be balling out. All right, so hopefully the final 2 mutations that we need get moved over now. We just need to get meteoric and tranquil moved over. Okay, there's tranquil. Let's see if we get meteoric. They both did the same exact thing. All right, so all we need to do though is get meteoric moved over, and then our orange tulip will literally be maxed out. Now we did just have an aurora event, but we did not get aurora from what it seems like. And earlier we did have that acidic rain event, and we also did not get acidic on anything. But if we got those 2, this thing would have been like pretty much almost perfect and had every single mutation that we could get without admin help. So it's very close, but it is looking good. All we need to do is get this meteoric moved over, and then we will be done. But the good thing is we did get celestial actually added onto this, so that is perfect. And we did get bloodlet on this again, so this will be one of our most mutated plants so far. Although maybe one of the last videos, depending on what's uploaded, since this is pre-recorded, maybe we'll have more mutations than this. But otherwise, this one... pretty nice, you know what I'm saying? All right, so we officially just got Meteoric moved over to our orange tulip, and the text is freaking out because there's so many mutations. I don't know if it'll go to a third row. It looks like it just starts expanding the second row. Maybe you're not supposed to have this many mutations, or they don't expect you to, but we be doing it, man. All right, so on this orange tulip, we have 31 mutations on it, and if we actually split some of these up like spaghetti, that's 33. Maelstrom would pretty much be 35. Gloom would bring us to about 36. Paradisal 37. Frozen 38. Ceramic would bring us to about 40. Harmonized Chakra about 41. So this thing has about 41 mutations on it split up. It's a pretty OP orange tulip. I gotta admit, like, I don't think anyone's ever done this on an orange tulip. You probably will never see this again. Anyways, we're not done there. We're gonna try to get the amber mutation applied with some raptors. So we're gonna go ahead and use all of our raptors here to see if we have a chance to get amber done. I think these are all boosted as well. Yeah, they all have boost besides Gus and Biscuit. Hey, hello, Gus and Biscuit. I'd like to give you a toy. Gus, where's Biscuit? Where's Biscuit? You Biscuit? You're not Biscuit. Just Biscuit. All right, there we go. We're gonna see if we can get 42 mutations on this thing technically by getting amber on it, and hopefully we can get amber. And I don't know what to expect for the price of this orange tulip, but let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite the orange tulip, pick it up. We did not get amber, surprisingly, even with all of these raptors boosted. That is kind of crazy, but I'm going to go ahead and pick them up so I can save the boost for the next time we do this. And here is our beautiful orange tulip with all of the millions of 41 mutations on it. And we're going to go ahead and check the value of this thing with Steven. So, Steven, what would you value our orange tulip at today? This orange tulip is literally worth 92 million, which is crazy, as these things literally have an average value of around, I think, 200 shekels, and we got this thing up to 92 million shekels. Is that right? That was 92 million, not 92 billion. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, that's 92 million. All right, so 92 million is actually pretty good for an orange tulip, because no one in their right mind would probably ever get this many mutations on an orange tulip. But if you do, props to you. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like that's a fair price for an orange tulip, 92 million. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this fair? Would you want more for an orange tulip, or am I crazy? Also, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.